building. We in the building. We in the building.
Wake up.
Wake up.
2024 in the bag,
in
man.
The building, man. In the bag, man. The year went by super fast, didn't it?
So fast. So much boxing this year, too, Blue. They act like there wasn't no boxing going on this year, but we know there was a lot of boxing that went on this year. And next year's looking even crazier, but oh man, let's talk about it. Do your thing.
You know
man.
What happens is that the sport of boxing is so top heavy that it's so casually driven that people just don't pay attention to everything that's going on. So it looks like if you don't got the main players, the Tank Davises, the Canelos, the Terrence Crawfords, the Errol Spencers, they ain't competing. It looks like boxing ain't doing nothing. But that's not the truth. We see that with Benavidez. He getting ready to fight. Usyk, Fury. We got the Berturbiev, Bivol. It's just the top of at the top, they don't fight enough. So because they don't fight enough at the top, it comes across for me and you as hardcore fans, the sport is thriving. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I said this. I referenced you and Coach Malachi in a video I did, I think yesterday, when y'all both said this. No, people here in the States might not think it's thriving, but it's a worldwide sport. So it's thriving, just may not be here in the States.
100%.
Right? And this is true. You know what I'm saying? Outside the States, boxing is functioning.
It's jumping. Matter of fact, that's where your fighters are going. That's where they're fighting at. If you're wondering where they at, that's where they at.
Right. And you know what's hilarious to me is that, well, not really hilarious, but interesting. Paulie Malignaggi, he came out and he made a statement. It's the tone that he used and the way he worded it made it look like it was a bit of racism to it because of his spat with Devin Haney and the whole I won't let a white boy beat me situation. So it made it look like he was coming from a race standpoint. And he said the Eastern Europeans, it's about to be their era. They are running the sport. And right now, he looks right, don't he?
Listen, man, I've been talking about it in 2023. I said, y'all better get it together, man. They coming. It's a wave. You know what I mean? With Vasily, with Usyk. I mean, you just look at the Eastern Europeans right now, even at 154, Serhii Bahachuk, Israel Majimov, Bakram Murtazaliev. I never can say his name right. Murtaliev. Murtaliev, right. Sorry, Murtaliev. You talking about even at 147, Stanionis is sitting there. You know what I mean? You look at 135, Vasily and Dennis Baranchek, right? Even the vacant. If Vasily Lomachenko vacates his IBF title, which looks like it's a 50-50 thing right now, it's going to be an Eastern European fighting against Raymond Moratala. You know what I'm saying, for that vacant belt. They're here. They're here. And then not only are they here, but they're also showing fundamentally sound. They're legitimately in every fight that I've seen them in, Blue. In every fight I've seen them in, they're in it 50-50. Like, it's not a game. You don't see them getting mopped, man. You don't. Look at the who was my guy who fought against Frank Martin, ran it with him, man. What's his name? Artem. Look at who Raymond Ford fought, which was almost fight of the year. Raymond stopped him in the last round, the last minute round, but a lot of people had him winning that fight. You know what I'm saying? Going into that before he got that stoppage. The Eastern Europeans are here. People can say whatever they want to say. They can paint the picture however they want to paint it and turn it into but that's not what it's about. Boxing is an international sport, man. And we lost a grip on that because we got caught up in our own arrogance of holding it here in the United States and thinking our fighters were the ones. But now you got people coming. Boxing is a poor man's sport, Blue. Am I right or wrong?
1000%.
right? This
always
is a
said.
struggling man's sport, right? This is like
Mhm.
feed my family. I got nothing else. I'm fighting to keep my family on point, right?
Mhm.
We lost that over here a little bit. We lost that here a little bit. And you talking about a Eastern European like Ukraine who's getting bombed every other day. Them dudes are coming over here with purpose.
Mhm.
Purpose drives a man like nothing else will drive a man. You know what I mean?
You know what it is? To attest to what you just said, this is what it is. We have, like you said, it's a poor man's sport, right?
Mhm.
But with social media and with other sports, we have a different out now.
Yes.
Now we
Yes.
have a different out, right? And the sport of boxing is the perfect poor man's sport, right, Clay? Because you don't need nothing to box. A spoiled in basketball might cost you $100 right now, right?
Right. This is all you need in a fight game. You know what I mean? As
Mhm.
long as these things right here is working, you might get your family out, you know what I'm saying, out the fish and grits. I love some fish and grits,
Mhm.
but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Big fan of some fish and grits.
I used to stuff socks.
Like Zab.
Yep, nail it to my over my door
Uh-huh.
and just hit the sock and keep
Bam, bam,
ducking.
bam,
Bang,
bam,
bang,
bam,
bang.
bam, bam, bam,
Right?
bam.
So you can improvise, right? With boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball, you need a court,
Right,
you need a ball,
right.
and you need good weather.
Let's get it.
Or you need to be indoors.
Right.
Football, you got to go to college.
Yep.
So you need good grades, right? Baseball I think is the hardest sport to make it in.
Yeah, you got to have a team. You need to have like a program
Yeah,
available. Like it's
you
a
got to
whole
have
situation.
trainers. You need money to be a professional to become great at baseball.
100%.
Unless you in a country like the Dominican Republic or something like that, where it's an acquired sport, right? It's a sport that's in demand, right? So they all play baseball. Like we play basketball, they play baseball. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So but the weather again permits it, right? If you live in New York, it's seasonal,
100%.
or you need to be indoors. You know what I'm saying? Boxing, I ain't got to go to college. I ain't got to finish high school. I don't need good grades. I don't need equipment,
Nope.
right? Because if you got a boxing gym, that makes it that much better because guess what? Typically, the boxing gym going to provide the equipment that you need,
100%.
right? So you could become a millionaire in boxing at a very young age, and you don't need to know, or you got to know how to fight and be committed.
That's it, bro.
It requires just a commitment, right? Because, like you said, you need a team, right? In other sports, you need other people to participate. In boxing, 90% of the time, you ain't participating with nobody else anyway, unless you're sparring.
100%.
Everything else is on your own. So yeah, 1000%. I second what you said. It's definitely a poor man's sport, and it's easy to make a living off of it. But like you said, in those countries, right? You ain't how many I can't pronounce no Joker Nokovic or whatever on the Denver Nuggets, right? He's from the
Mm.
Ukraine, something like that, right?
Right, right, right.
How many of them is in the NBA?
100%.
Maybe 3. You know what I'm saying? So they're out. They don't have the same outs we have now.
No. So they put it all into this thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right here, they put everything they got into it, man. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just look how Karen stepped up when his back got against the wall. Y'all slept on Karen. We all slept on Karen, right? But
Man,
Karen was like, boy, this for
I
the
full-fledged went to
country.
sleep on them.
He was like, this for the legacy, bro. I ain't going out like that. Y'all think I'm soft? This man
Right.
got to kill me tonight. If he what you say he is, I'm gonna die because I'm not going nowhere, bro. You think I can't stand in the paint? You crazy. I come from straight poverty, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming from porridge. You know what I'm saying? Melting
Exactly.
ice with water. You know what I mean? No fun after dark because we don't got nothing but candles and we saving them for a rainy day. Like this is a whole different energy, bro. I got the heart of a lion, man. You crazy? You got to kill me. You got to kill me. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you better and shook the world up, bro. Right? So these Eastern Europeans, I don't know what Paulie said, but I can tell you right now, their heart, their willing, their want to be in this game, their determination to take over whatever division they're in to win fights should not be slept on. It's been slept on way too much. You see what happened to Tim Tszyu? You slept on that man. You crazy. That man showed you.
And got slept.
Got done dirty in front of his daddy, bro.
Well, for one of the only times his dad even attended.
No doubt, man. Salute Mazuma TV in the building. Salute.
Salute to nephew G tatted up in the building and super chat dropping that Cinco on us in the super chat. He says salute Uncle and Clay. Y'all the best. Keep that frontal cortex developing. Hey man, yo, he be having me rolling with that, bro.
The pragmatic.
When Senior said that, I was in tears. Brack Rock, brother in the super chat dropping that Cinco. On us in the super chat. He said, greetings from the mean streets of North Omaha, Nebraska. Win or lose, I got Bud. Dare to be great. Salute. Salute. Yeah. Man, I love Nebraska, man. You ever been there?
No, man.
Oh,
no.
Man.
It's on point.
Like, it's so I don't want it to sound feminine, right? But it's intimate.
Okay.
Right? It's like it's almost like on TV, right? Like it's a like a small town. You could tell everybody know each other.
Right.
But it's not small, but it's small. You know what I mean? Like, man,
I think I get it.
Yeah, it's like it's definitely man, I love going there, man. I love going there, man. It's like it's dope to me, man. Like it's not man, it's like it's like Long Island, but like a country Long Island. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because Long Island don't nobody know.
Yeah, because we so big, right? But
right.
It is not as big, but it's like yeah, that was a bad example.
Yeah, in Long Island, nobody know nobody unless they know him. Everybody got that New York energy. Who is you energy?
But it's like, man, you just gotta see it, Clay, man. I enjoy it, man. Good food, you know what I'm saying? It's not crowded. It's good. I like the energy, man.
Yeah, I like not crowded.
You like it, man. I think you'll like it, man. It's like it's dope, man. It's dope. I mean, it got it hoods, it got everything, you know what I mean? But it's convenient. I just like the energy. Rodriguez Jackson TV, my brother in the super chat, salute. He says, salute, Blue and Clay. Salute to you, family. Much love, family.
Salute, Rodriguez.
Miss Rain is in the building. Drop the horn. Peace and blessings to you, Queen. Peace and blessings to you, Queen. That's a fake.
It's gotta be because boy.
Yeah, that's definitely fake.
No, we got the logo. He got the logo.
Yeah, it's the logo, but that's I'm pretty sure. I'm almost certain that's fake. Nebraska Wild brother in the super chat. He said, North Omaha, everybody know everybody. All facts, man.
No doubt.
Man, I love the vibe there, man. I love the vibe, man. And you know what tripped me out about that? Then we get back to this boxing. My man said, yo, let's drive to it was like a sports bar or something, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. We driving, right? We go over there, and I'm like, man, what part of Nebraska is this? He like, bro, you ain't in Nebraska no more. Mind you, Clay, we drove like 20 minutes. Like, you ain't in Nebraska no more. I'm like, huh? Like, nah, we in Iowa.
Damn.
I was like, what? He was like, yeah, bro, we in Iowa. Literally, Clay, like, Literally like 20 minutes, bro. We drove
So
like
it's like
20
right
minutes.
next to each other, I guess, in neighboring, huh? Iowa and Omaha
Yeah, like, but
or
it wasn't
Nebraska.
far at all. Like because we was down by the arena downtown. So we went right next thing. I'm like, we in Iowa. He's like, yeah, bro. Man, I started looking at the signs. Sure enough, we was in Iowa.
Just like that.
Just like that. Quick,
Those are the
fast.
places I want to visit because I never think to visit them, like Nebraska, Montana. You know what I'm saying? Like places like
Yeah,
you never thought about. It'd be
yeah,
the nicest places, Utah.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The only thing I knew about Nebraska was
Cornhuskers.
was yeah, the football team. And it seemed like they was like that was the North Pole when we was watching. You know what
No
I'm
doubt.
saying? But now Clay, and to me, to get the best feel of how it is, to me, is to go in the winter. The fall, winter, fall
Mm.
is like the summertime is like all right, but like the winter, fall, you really get that that cold. You know what I mean? Like that holiday. Like it really just hits different. Like you know what I mean? It's like a movie almost. But yeah, man, let's get into this boxing talk, man. So people, at the end of this show, we're gonna do our awards. We're gonna give out our awards, who we think is the best fight of the year, fighter of the year, up and coming of the year. We're gonna go into that, man, at the end of the show.
I'm gonna tell you right now, knockout of the year is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting conversation. I'm gonna tell
Hmm.
you right now, fighter of the year, as
Hmm.
easy as it sounds like it's gonna be, you're gonna see that's gonna be an interesting
It's always
conversation right
some,
there.
yeah, and but that goes, but that attests back to what you said. Boxing is a lot of boxing.
Man. And let me tell
Hmm.
you, when you're doing the like I did a lot of research going into this, just going into and just reminiscing over here. I was like, damn, yo, boxing was lit this year. I
Hmm.
mean, all the way. I mean, we're talking about fight of the year. I mean, you can go all the way down to the bottom to like a Brian Norman Santillion fight. Like
Hmm.
people ain't remembering that fight. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
A
Hmm.
crazy fight right then and there. You go into all these different fights, and
Hmm.
it's like, damn, it's kind of difficult. Like you want to just say it's one fight, but you can go into so many anyway. Like I'm telling you, it's gonna be an interesting conversation later because there's some
Yeah.
fights that's just like, are we gonna discount this one?
Yep.
Are we gonna
Yep.
discount this fighter and what he did this year?
Because the it's again it's so top heavy that everybody get caught up in specific names and you forget about the rest.
Listen, man, that's a good one right there, man. Tim
Hmm.
Tszyu Fundora. People ain't talking about it. Everybody
Uh-huh.
talking about Bohachuk and Ortiz, even me. That's what I feel like fight of years. But then when you get into the conversation, you start thinking about some of these fights, man.
Hmm.
There's some
Great
real
fight.
good fights.
Great fights, man.
And the body shot knockouts this year.
Hmm.
How do we rate that? I know it looks crazy to see somebody like an H2O get put to sleep snoring on the ground, but
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Diego Pacheco and what's my man's name? Not Zelensky, what's his name? Omeki or I
Hmm.
can't remember, but a crazy body shot. What about Bam Rodriguez and Juan Estrada? And I'm saying that body
Hmm.
shot stoppage was crazy. Anyway,
Crazy.
we gonna get into it, bro. There's so many like
Crazy.
different levels to this conversation when it comes to the knockouts of the year and the fighter of the year. Because Daniel Dubois, Alexander Usyk, Keyshawn Davis. I mean, we talk about it. There's fighters that really
Hmm.
stood out this year. Comeback of the year is an interesting conversation too. The fighter
Hmm.
who brought himself back from the Phoenix and is on top of
Hmm.
the game right now. Crazy.
Yeah, the sport is thriving, man. Junior
Sulecki,
Spock.
exactly, Valiant.
Salute to Junior Spock in the super chat, dropping that Cinco. He said, what macroeconomic or social tool? Man, I can't even see the word.
Yeah, he
Changes
said
are
what
going to.
macroeconomic and societal changes are going to
Oh,
affect boxing in 25, 26 that the boxing public does not see
they're
coming.
not.
Shout out to JR Spock. He gave me this question a little bit earlier. This is a real
Uh,
interesting
um.
conversation too.
Mm, that's a good question.
It's a good one, man. It's really a good one, man. It's really a good one, man. When you think about it just with money and also with just the changes going on with the way the Eastern Europeans are coming into it, with the way Turkey's coming into it, with the way the UK, even Queensberry with like Frank Warren, the presence he's shown in the space. And then you looking at the American side of boxing kind of took a little bit of a shot this year with the way the PBC came across. And then you look at the way like Bob Arum and Oscar De La Hoya are like, you know, working with Turkey Al-Sheikh now, making this more of an international sport right now with the way that the zone is modeled and Turkey's effect on the space. It's like boxing is being affecting in a very international way, which is good and bad. It's good because we're getting these fights. It's good because there's more fights to be made now. But, you know, how bad is it? How's it affecting it as far as the hold that America has on boxing? It's like America's losing that grip on it, or lost it already. Some might say already lost the grip on it. It's become a super international sport again. It's kind of going backwards, but at the same time in a different way, because I feel like boxing's always been an American thing. Like all the other countries kind of like modeled their business models or the way they handled it after America. Everybody wanted to come over here. Lennox came over here. You know what I'm saying? Like all the great fighters came here. There was a point in time when like people like Roy Jones took forever to get over to Europe to fight like a Kawasaki or something like that. He didn't need to. But now the way the economy is working and the way society has become a way more open conversation, we lost our grip on it, man. Boxing is super international.
And we have social media.
That's a whole exactly.
So the things we couldn't see, you only had to hear word of mouth and things like that. Newspaper, that's all over with now.
It's uncontrollable. It's out of control with Twitter, with YouTube, TikTok, with all these different platforms. You know, I mean, just look what ProBox did this year. ProBox, look what ProBox did this year, man. Like you got to celebrate ProBox. They're a YouTube channel, bro. They never was mainstream. They never was on an ESPN or on a, you know what I'm saying, on a USA or, you know what I mean? These guys started off YouTube and made a big impression in boxing this year. ProBox is definitely part of the conversation as far as needle movers in the boxing space this year as well.
What you think about PBC and ProBox? PBC going to ProBox now.
Is that what it's going to be, or are you asking me what I think about it happening?
Yeah, no, that's apparently they're going to do a partnership now.
It makes sense. They need to listen. PBC has to find. They have to find a streaming service that is up to speed with boxing. They went to Amazon, but Amazon just wasn't familiar enough with what boxing is and what boxing needs. Now, the question's always still going to be like, how are you going to finance the biggest fights? Like, are you going to use this for like a prospect, contender type of series type of platform? I mean, how are you still going to facilitate the biggest fighters and keep the biggest fighters on your roster? The Canelo Alvarez's, Gervonta Tank Davis's, the Errol Spence's, the David Benavidez's. You know what I'm saying? How are you going to facilitate a space for them to perform at a high level and still keep them paid? But I think it's a legitimate way to approach it. I think it's definitely a build out from the ground up. You know what I mean? I still think they're running into the same issues that they had at Amazon, which is the budget. I don't think ProBox is in a position to provide a budget, you know what I'm saying, for them to pay these fighters. So if they haven't figured out how to get at that, they're going to run into the same problems with Amazon, except, I mean, ProBox is there for the free events. If you want to provide free events and you just want your fighters to be active, ProBox is there. But if you're trying to do pay-per-views or you're trying to pay Gervonta Tank Davis $20 million or pay, you know what I'm saying, Canelo Alvarez $36 million, you're still in the same position.
Yeah. It's just a distribution deal again.
That's all they can afford to do. They're a brand new company. They're not living like that. They're not broke, but they're not living like that.
Right. Brack Rock, my brother, back in the super chat. He said New York City and Jersey, Omaha, and Council Bluffs.
No doubt. Okay, I see. I get the comparison.
Yeah. But it just seems like a much closer though. Like there's no bridges and all that. You know what I mean? It's just,
right.
It's just right there. Like you ain't got to cross nothing to get there.
Nah.
So, man, but so now this.
You guys hit the like button. Stop it. Be honest with yourself. Fix yourself. We're going into a new year. Don't take this type of energy into the new year. Don't be irresponsible. Hold it down. It's one thing to put color in the chat, but it's a whole nother thing to not support the conversation by just hitting the like button. That's diabolical. Let's be honest. It's not that serious. Take the time to hit the like button. After you're done laughing at yourself, because I'm sure you are right now, because you know what I'm hitting on is real, get over that. Don't apologize. Focus on redemption. Don't go into the New Year's. You can't be an a-hole your whole life and hit the like button. That's dead serious. Stop it.
It's free. Don't cost a thing.
You know you out of pocket. You know it don't even make no sense. Take that time to hit that like button, man. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Like button is absolutely free. Yet we got to jump through hoops and hurdles. Ray Davis, what's up,
Angry energy. Salute, Ray. Angry energy, man. Y'all got to stop it, man.
It's nasty word, man. I got so fatigued with saying it, I don't even say it no more.
It make no sense, man. Just do that, man. Just hit it, man. Just hit the damn like button, man. Just hit it. You here. Just hit it.
And the thing is, it's across every time I watch somebody, across every platform, it's the same thing. Like,
oh yeah.
Where Crawford, Canelo, man.
Let's get it.
Crawford,
this is the fight
Canelo.
I want. This is the fight I want. This is the fight I need, man. This is the biggest. Santa, give me one thing in 2025. This is the one thing I want more than anything, man.
What you think about, for one, what goes into the makeup and the mindset of Canelo to now say, you know what? Let's do this fight. Let's make this happen now.
I mean, it's got to be why not at this point. It's got to be why not. Listen, the boxing space has embraced Terrence Crawford as the pound for pound best fighter in the world. Like, listen, you'll talk about Alexander Usyk. You'll talk about Monster Inoue, right? These guys are pound for pound great fighters, but you're not getting ready to go fight Usyk. And Monster Inoue, come on. You get an opportunity to fight Terrence Bud Crawford, who's screaming, calling your name out for well over a year now, going on 2 years. You got Turkey Al-Sheikh with the resources to make this worth your while. If you truly are confident in your ability to compete with this man and beat this man, and you understand all the advantages that you have, the only question that you would think Canelo Alvarez had was, what is the boxing space going to look at me at, like, if I beat Terrence Crawford? Look, at this point, he's a champion at 154. He's proven. He's tried true. He's decorated. He's going in the history books. This is legacy and money intertwined. I keep telling you guys, Turkey Al-Sheikh has intertwined the two things. He's brought legacy and money together when legacy and money were on two sides of the streets. Now legacy can come together for Canelo Alvarez, and of course, quench the thirst of everybody who's been putting the pressure on him to fight David Benavidez. This is definitely a way out of the David Benavidez ridicule that he's been receiving. Some people are still holding to it, but most people, I believe, will watch him fight Terrence Crawford and be satisfied and say, this guy's fighting great fights. There's nobody else from the fight to make that money, Blue. If it ain't David Benavidez, there's nobody else. Who you gonna fight? Skull? You gonna fight Diego Pacheco? You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do, a sequel? You gonna fight Caleb Plant again? Come on, bro.
The thing with me is that there isn't a lot of opportunities, right? There's not there's no networks now that just have a budget where they could just splurge on him with any fight. Like you said, a Skull fight, and he still get 30 million. There's no where you going to do that at now.
Yeah.
That don't exist anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. The Zone is not going to do it because business, right, Clay? Why would I now? I know you ain't got nowhere else to go. Why would I? Who am I competing with? I'm competing against myself.
That's it.
If you the Zone right now, you competing against yourself. So why would you outbid yourself? How you say, Clay? Trick yourself out your own position.
Trick yourself right out your own possession. The devil's a lie. Yeah. Still kill and destroy.
Yeah. There's no point. So if I'm the Zone, bro, where you going? The PBC don't have no budget. Top Rank is getting out of business with with ESPN, so they going to the Zone.
Right.
Where you going? Your options has dwindled. Matchroom has, they did it to no end. They ain't doing it again.
That's it.
And the Zone see the value because, again, you had plenty of fights where the Zone paid you massive amount of money, and they probably didn't get a return on their investment. And now they don't got they was competing with other platforms. Now they ain't got to compete with nobody else. So why am I going to bet against myself? No. Now you got to come over here and you got to fight
who they want you to fight. The money's there, but not for any fight.
Right. I'm not paying you $30 million to fight Skull.
Nope.
That's not happening. You know what I'm saying? So now your value, we always say this, right, Clay? Especially in boxing. You only worth what you negotiate. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you negotiate, that's what you're worth. Especially in the sport of boxing. I said this, I had a few people that said, hey, man, they was overpaying this fighter, overpaying that fighter. And I don't believe that.
Right.
I don't believe in that. And reason I don't believe in that, because there's no price on life, on your life.
Right.
It's priceless. You know what I'm saying? Because if I don't have my life, you could have gave me $2 trillion. It ain't gonna do nothing for me. So to risk my life, there is no ceiling. Hence the reason why, Clay, I never like to tell a fighter or say what a fighter is and is not worth.
Right.
Now I'll tell you based off the numbers, who's the A side.
Right.
Based off the numbers in comparison. But if you say, hey, I want, again, the situation with Canelo, when he said 200 million and he threw out these numbers, that wasn't him putting a value on his life. That was him putting a robot in between the fights.
Right.
Because he was looking at the situation and he just threw numbers out there because he felt like it was so out of space that it was just going to float and never come back down. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was just so sporadic, right? Oh, you fight Benavidez? Give me 200 million, I'll fight him. And then he stuck to it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it's not like he actually was initially like, I'll fight him. I'm gonna need about 200 million. No, it was a number he threw out there.
Right.
Like a quarterback that's about to get sacked and they're just trying to throw the ball out of bounds. And next thing you know, they threw an interception because they couldn't get it out there further enough.
100%. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what happened. That's why I was critical of that mindset from Canelo. But when you put if a fighter say, yo, I want to give you another example, right? When Shakur and Devin was having their negotiations, right? I never said that Devin, I never blamed anybody for that falling through. And people always ask me, people always said to me, bro, why you ain't say, Shakur is ducking or Devin ducking? Because I can't put a price on somebody else's life. If Shakur Stevenson says this is not enough money, I'm not going to say he ducking. But what I will say is, don't say Devin wasn't trying to fight you. Right. Just say my value was higher than what he wanted to offer.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, don't go to a job interview and they say we pay you $15 an hour and you say no, I need 20, and then you go back to the hood or to your wife or
everybody, you ain't get hired. Like
they ain't want to hire me. No, you didn't want to take the money that they was offering.
Right.
Now I can see both sides of the coin, right? They was offering this and you wanted this. It wasn't like they wasn't willing to hire you, and it wasn't like you wasn't willing to work. You just wanted to work for this, and they wasn't seeing you back. So y'all didn't see eye to eye. That's how I looked at the Shakur and Devin situation. But you can't go around saying Devin is ducking you. Can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. You know what I mean? I don't like to say, hey, fighters, there's a number, man, these dudes is pricing themselves out. I don't like to say that. Right. Because your life, and we seen it on the lowest to the highest level. You know what I'm saying? Look at Pritchard Colon. Right? He get hit in the back of the head with one wrong punch. and his life has changed forever.
He on diapers. He can't even do nothing for himself. He look crazy.
Right.
You can't put no price on it.
Can't put and now let's say they would have gave him $50 million for that fight. What is he gonna do with 50? I mean, his family could benefit from it.
Right. I mean, look, even with a cherry pick, even when you're talking about quote unquote cherry picking, look what happened to Jaime Munguia. It's boxing.
Right.
It's boxing. Ain't no guarantees. You getting punched in the head, man. Right. You can't put no price on it. You don't know what's gonna happen in that ring, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You don't know.
Wasn't it G-Man? They got hit. Remember? Was it G-Man? Who was it that got hit? No, he had like a brain bleed or something like that.
Are you talking about the guy who fought
in the UK?
Nigel Benn? Who fought Nigel Benn? You talking about
it was Gerald McClendon, right?
McClendon, yeah, exactly. That's what it was. Yep, G-Man. Yep.
Yeah, G-Man, right?
Yep.
Look how that changed, you know what I'm saying? Changed everything.
Yeah, bro.
Changed everything. So you just
never
simply
know.
You don't know. Look how quickly, right? Look how quickly we didn't even realize how James Toney's speech went from what it used to be to what it is today. You can't even understand what he's talking about.
Crazy.
It's diabolical.
You can't even get the thought out. God bless him respectfully, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, man, it's crazy. Same thing with Riddick Bowe.
Yeah, Riddick Bowe. And this is the weird part about it, right, Clay? Is this. Look at the punishment that Holyfield took and George Foreman.
Right.
Riddick Bowe didn't have that type of punishment. He had those rough fights with what was his name?
The Polish dude.
Yeah, they kept hitting him below the belt.
What's his name again, man? Oh my God.
I can see his face. He looked like Ivan Drago too.
Yeah, the one who walked out the Tyson fight.
Yeah.
What's his name again? Eastern European Polish dude, man. Y'all, come on in the chat. Y'all know who we talking about, man.
That's ridiculous. I can't remember that dude name.
Me neither. It's right there, man. Oh man. I know who you're talking about though. I know everybody in the chat know too. They're just sitting here watching us burn out. Yeah, Galata. Exactly. Andrew Galata. Salute to Michael James and Gilbert Vasquez in the building.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You listen to them. You listen to Riddick Bowe talk and look at Holyfield. Holyfield talk like this. He don't remember the same. Look at Mike Tyson. Lennox Lewis got smoked by Oliver McCall and Hasim Rahman.
Yeah. And he's articulate. He's sitting right there next to Chris Eubank Sr., bro. Sitting right there, speaking with the eloquence.
Yeah. he talked. Holyfield is not as bad, Mr. Holmes, as Riddick Bowe and James Toney, bro. You can't understand nothing they talking about.
Riddick is bad. Like James, you can get it. You listen to James, you can kind of get it. Riddick is bad.
Even James Toney is like you gotta really be like
right.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta kind of like assume what he's saying as well. Like kind of okay, that's what he must have been trying to say. Like you just kind of
because you know what he does now, Clay. He learned to talk with his hands. So he gives you these examples and stuff. The things he's doing with his body language, you can make out what he's saying because he's giving you physical signs. You know what I mean? But and again, when did that happen? Like I don't remember.
You don't remember the fight, right? It's like what fight did that happen? Like when did it happen?
Right. Like I don't remember when that like bro, it seemed like overnight you woke up and like, bro, James Toney can't even talk.
That's a fact.
My Egypt piece of buses, Queen. Ray Davis, my brother in the super chat. He said, I just hit the like button. Wow, it's that easy? Yeah, man.
Just like that. Just like that.
It's just like that, man.
Hit the like button on the way in, man.
And then you look at another perfect example, right? Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah, Tommy's definitely Sugar Ray not too bad, but he there
Sugar
a little
ain't
bit.
Bad at all. Tommy,
right? Tommy,
you don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on. Tommy's
and he speak low. He already talked low to begin with.
Right. He don't like repeating himself.
Yeah.
Tommy will say something to you. You watch the interviews, Tommy will say something to you and look at you like,
and that's
you better have heard what I said. Like, you better not ask me to repeat it. Look at you like what you ain't understand what I said. He still got that look like he'll punch you in your mouth, bro. So you just be nodding your head with him because Tommy look like he'll still let his hands go on you.
Oh, for sure. I told you in the MGM, we was in the MGM going into who was fighting? I don't remember who was fighting, but I said, hey, Champ, we was together, and I said, Champ, man, I could take you. You know, I could take you. Yo, Clay, he came out his sports jacket so quick. I said, oh, chill. Yeah, I'm only kidding, man. Man, I'm only kidding.
Tommy with all the smoke, so he looking at you crazy like, what?
What?
Tommy
he came out that sports jacket so quick, I thought he saw Sugar Ray Leonard. Like, no, I'm good.
You having a flashback on you.
Hey,
That boy
Champ.
said, what?
No, I'm good.
The Champ don't turn down no smoke. Not even in my old age. You crazy.
No. That episode with him and Sugar Ray Leonard with Mike Tyson.
On the hot, yeah, man. When they had that face off,
it
got cringe in there. It got weird in there.
It got weird. But why was Mike Tyson amping it up?
Mike was like, oh no. Mike like a little kid when he get up in there with them dudes. But with them legends, Mike still show his respect. And he's still a big fan of boxing, man. When he see those legends come in there, he can't contain himself, bro. When you see them legends come in there, he recognized who he was in the room with. He don't let nobody gas his head up. Like, I don't care what you think I am. These dudes, nah, bro. We not doing that.
Salute to C. Brooks, brother, in the super chat, dropping that Cinco. On into the super chat. Y'all should invite Fanon and Showbiz on the live chat. I would love to see y'all converse.
I think Biz would be awesome to speak with.
Yeah. I'd love to have Biz and
for sure.
But
shout out to Showbiz.
That's where it ends.
Yeah.
That's where it ends, brother.
Shout out to Showbiz. Yeah. That part.
Yeah. Biz, cool. Rest, no.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Keep him right there.
Mm-hmm. No. Keep him at Tommy Hearn's jab reach.
Really?
The end of this jab.
At least 77 inches, preferably 8.
That's it. Hey, so I wanted to ask you this real quick before we forget. The Morell Benavidez. David Morell still hasn't been tested, according to David Benavidez.
Right.
It's nasty work. How is this even possible in 2025?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, there's two sides to this, right? There's one side, which is David Benavidez's side. Clearly, he wants to make sure that this dude is, look, the gossip is out, right? David Morell is under scrutiny for potentially using performance enhancement drugs. Why? Because of the way he's been with VADA and things in the past, but he's never been popped. He's never been proven guilty. So there's a side of David Benavidez who wants that confirmation and who's also showing that he's really concerned about this. Because listen, when you're fighting against David Morell, Blue, it's power coming your way. That's what he's known for. He got that punching power. And if he's got something that's giving him an edge and giving him some superhuman strength, if you're David Benavidez, it's on your mind. And then when you got people like Senna Agbeko, who's corroborating and saying, he ran through issues and he feels like the power was unreal, and you're starting to give the credit to the performance enhancement drugs. This is something that you want put to bed. Now, on the other side, you got David Morell, who's like, listen, man, if they're not pressuring me to put the test out there, if I can move along and not do the test, it's not that I'm necessarily on anything, but this is my edge, my mind games. This is my, you know what I'm saying? This is the thing that I can do right now to mess with David Benavidez. So if David Morell really is comfortable in his own skin and understands that he's not using any performance enhancement drugs and knows when he takes the test, he's going to pass it, he has some benefit in kind of like prolonging it and kind of like staying in David Benavidez's mind. You know what I mean? The same way he did with that face off. You know what I mean? By not shaking his hand. This made me David Morell playing his poker face, playing his card game right now, and driving David Benavidez insane off the strength of, I'm not doing nothing illegal. I'm allowed to do what I'm doing. Clearly, the fight's not allowed. You going to cancel the fight? No, you're not going to cancel the fight. When I have to test, I'll test, but I won't do it until I have to. So it's going to bring shade to David Morrell, as it's doing right now presently. It's going to look bad on him, but ultimately, if David Morrell passed all the tests that he has to take, they'll be fighting on February 1st, and David Benavidez will have to fight him, wondering if this man operated in a certain way during his training camp. You know what I mean? It's diabolical. It's something that's been following David Morrell for a while now, but until it's illegal, until the fight is on the line and he refuses it on that point, he's well within his right to play the game the way he's playing the game. And it's actually playing out to be very interesting right now. It's because it's bothering David Benavidez, Blue. It's bothering him. He's not happy about it at all. It's in his head. He's thinking about it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is.
My brother, Greg Hackett, in the building. Drop the bombs on GH.
February 15th. We in the building, Greg. We in the building.
February 15th. We in the building.
We in the building, Greg.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? About it that's weird. I know Morell, strength and conditioning coach. Very cool dude. I know Ronnie Shields, very good dude. For me, I want him to do it for them.
To take away the shade off of them, right?
Yeah, because it's just gonna make your trainers look bad.
But if he comes up clean, which I would anticipate he is, because guys, no matter how we want to paint this picture, this man has not popped on a test, man. You feel me? However you want to look at it, however he's treating it, however he's dealing with it. Listen, performance enhancement drugs is in sports. Every athlete is looking for that edge, especially when you get in the big show, right? When you get in the big show, you're dealing with the best of the best. Everybody who was trash is sitting back on a is sitting back. They're not competing anymore. When you get to this high level, everybody's trying to get the edge. Football, basketball, boxing, MMA, the highest levels of competition, people are looking for the edge. Performance enhancing drugs has always been it. And to be honest with you, more than likely, most of the big fights we've seen, there've been some sort of manipulation and playing with things to cover things up. I mean, that's why everybody hates Victor Conte, right? For his ability to go ahead and cover up people, have people using performance enhancement drugs, and ultimately pop clean on show up clean on every test. So it's there. It's there in everybody's mind, right? But ultimately, David Morrell's never officially popped dirty on a test. And as long as he doesn't pop dirty on that test, Ronnie Shields, the strength and conditioning team have nothing. You can say, yeah, we don't know, but yeah, you don't know. And this won't be the first time. These guys are professionals. They've been here for a while, man. They're going to play the game the way the game is supposed to be played. He's not doing them no favors. Right now, his edge is I'm in David Benavidez's head. I'm in David Benavidez's head, man. I didn't shake his hand. He lost his mind, pushed me. I threw the belt at his head. The leverage is pointing more towards David Morrell, because while David Benavidez is complaining and pushing the narrative out here and telling the world what's going on, and the world don't even care that much, because at the end of the day, the fight's going to happen February 1st. I think it's interesting. I think it's chess being played. It's chess being played.
And now, just to give a little pushback to it, though, he hasn't failed the test, but he ain't taking the test to fail.
I know, but he hasn't failed. I know that. I get it.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you're not even taking a test to be in position to find out if you're failing. But I'm a bit confused, right? Because when you put it in the contract, is he being tested and Benavidez just don't know? Because it's in the contract. So if they show up for Benavidez, how are they not showing up for Morell?
They probably are. I mean,
he can't refuse it, right?
He's working in the rules, Blue. Whatever he's doing, the fight hasn't been threatened yet. The fight has not been threatened yet by the commission, by the people who are supposed to be enforcing these rules. It's like, man, he ain't violate that yet. He ain't do it as fast as you want him to do it, or I don't know what it is that what's happening, but he has not violated any rule that's putting this fighter in that put this fight into at risk. Now, once we start getting into that point, to where the fight is at risk and he's not taking it, I'll give it a little bit more weight. But David Morrell is operating with the only reason they're saying this, Blue, is because he's knocking people out. That's what it's all about. So the issue isn't whether or not I'm taking PEDs or not. The issue is, why am I punching so damn hard? You feel me? That's what the issue is. And I'm gonna keep you thinking about how hard I punch And when I take the test, I'm going to take the test. Are you getting ready for me? Because I know what you want to do. You want to walk me down. You want to walk me down, bro. But you're going to have to walk me down thinking about this power that's coming back at you. We got a super chat in the building, man.
Yes, sir. Salute to the queen, Nick J. She's in the building. Drop the bombs on it, Clay. And there he go, Clay. Where you been at, my brother? Where you been at? Where you been at?
Cheese in the building. Cheese
my brother, Charles Edward Cheese in the building, in the super chat, dropping that 500 on us in the super chat. He said, Happy New Year all. Thanks, y'all, for staying on the grind. Let 2025 bring us all health, new family and friends. Boston got a lot to do to top 24. Can Chief Turkey keep it going? Benny out here and fat him, so I see why he.
Listen, man.
I know.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Cheese, not fat Camp Cheese. Not.
Listen, Morell on his mind, baby. Benny out there trying to get it together, and he got this dude coming in with superhuman strength. He thinking about it, man.
He said.
Come on, baby.
Yo,
you know what it is.
You know it's wild. I think we all had the same thought. I think everybody in here had the same thought. When we saw him at that first face-off, whatever, with Morell, and his shirt off, it was like, bro, what are you doing?
Listen, man. Come on now. We got to be honest, Blue. We got to be honest right now. The reality is the reality, man. David Benavidez, listen, man, this is going to be his biggest challenge he's ever had in his career, potentially. You never know. He could just run through David Morell. But this ain't Caleb Plant. This ain't Demetrius Andrade. You know what I'm saying? This ain't what's my man's name from Canada, man? I can't remember his name, but you know what I'm talking about. Our Caucasian brother. Lemieux, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This ain't, you know what I mean, Anthony Durrell. This is not, I don't care what anybody tries to paint this, because I know the main thing that everybody brings to the table in this conversation is David Benavidez's experience, right? But I question and I push back at that, and I said, has he fought a David Morell legitimately? And what I mean by that is somebody who's got the height, got the arm reach like him, has the power, has an amateur background, can fight the way he does. You would assume that David Benavidez's volume punching and pressure style is impossible for anybody to deal with, but we haven't seen him be superhuman at 175. We only seen him be superhuman at 168. He has not been superhuman at 175. Granted, he's only had one fight against Vosdick, and that, he came in there with some injuries and things that he was dealing with. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and almost guarantee you guys I'm expecting a better David Benavidez than we saw on his debut at 175. But David Morell is still a whole different animal, man. He's gonna have to deal with, and whatever mental leverage David Morell can put on David Benavidez, he's well within his right to do it, as long as he's not putting this fight in jeopardy. And so far, he's not.
What do you think is the biggest challenge David Morell is going to present to David Benavidez?
I'm going to shoot back at you. You're going to shoot at me. I'm going to shoot at you. I'm going to connect with shots. I got a good pedigree in boxing. I'm going to hit you back. That's what he brings to the table. I'm going to hit you back, Blue. I'm not going to hit you back and you're going to smile at me and walk through it and keep on coming at me. No, I'm going to hit you back, and you're going to have to consider and weigh out your options on the next punch I throw. When you punch on me and I punch on you, you're going to have to think about me, and you're going to have to weigh it out, baby. And we're going to see David Benavidez weighing out what David Morell has to give at him, and we're going to see if he's going to adjust. Is he going to turn into a boxer all of a sudden? Is he going to get on the back foot? Is he going to walk through it, take the shot, and show everybody that he has this iron chin and discourage David Morell? Or is he going to fold? Is he a human being? David Morell punches hard, bro. Anybody can say whatever they want to say. I know everybody wants David Benavidez to just walk through this dude, bro. And you guys are thinking of, we all know David Benavidez punches pretty decent, but people are not talking about David Morell, the way he punches, and the fact that David Benavidez plans on walking this man down. He plans on putting the pressure on this man. He will be there to get punched on, or he's going to show us something we've never seen before from David Benavidez, which is great defense, keeping his head off the line, great footwork. We're going to see all this stuff, and when we see it, we're going to know that David Benavidez is really like that. But until then, time will tell.
I think Andrew Rodriguez, what's up, family? I think the biggest threat that he presents is his timing.
Boom.
Because he can match him in size and physicality, right? And now his timing is going to be a problem with his size because he's your size. Mm-hmm. He has longer arms than you, right? He's just as fast. Now I think Benavidez might slightly be faster, and I think that's also due to punch selection, right?
Right. Because
he throws punches in bunches where Morell is more strategic, right? To give you an example, a lot of fighters might look faster than Tank, but I think that's because Tank is more strategic with his punch selection. So the delivery is different. He's not just out there winging shots and letting them go. At times, David Benavidez will square up and just throw 6-7 punches, squared up right in front of you, and just like he on a heavy bag, just right, and it look good for the level of competition that he's in there with. But when you're in there with a fighter that could capitalize on those mistakes, it's going to be a problem, and they can match you in size and strength, and he's a southpaw with a high ring IQ. I think that the counter punching and the timing of David Morell is going to be an extremely, extremely difficult task for David Benavidez to deal with.
I agree with you. And the question is, when he gets hit with these shots, does he just eat these shots and still? I think this is going to be an interesting. I'm going to tell you right now, David Benavidez is either about to show the world that he's one of the best boxers in boxing today, or he's going to get exposed because he's not. I don't see him bullying David Morell, bro. And he likes to do that. So if he does that to David Morell, it's going to speak to this man on a whole nother level. We're going to have to give him credit on a whole nother level. He picked the right fight. If he's trying to make a statement, if he's trying to show the world who he really is, he picked the right fighter to do that with, without a doubt. But he also picked the right fighter to get his bubble popped. You know what I'm saying? To get his whole reality, to give him a whole reality check on where he's at. He's also picked that fighter as well. So
now, do you think that if he does answer that bell, right, like you said, and he is able to bully him around and do what he typically does, that he'll get credit, or will people say, "Oh, Morell was never tested"?
The casuals will say whatever they want to say. The people who want to hate on him, the Canelo fans who want to discredit the value of the fight between Canelo and David Benavidez, the people who just want to criticize David Benavidez will always find a way to criticize him. But I think hardcore boxing fans across the board, people who understand the sport, are going to understand that this fight is the biggest test of David Benavidez's life, period. Nobody cares about the record of David Morell. We know what David Morell can do. And like I always say, the amateur background of being a Cuban fighter is going to be factored into this. This is part of David Morell's resume. I know people don't want to count the fights he's had as an amateur, and they want to just make it all about the professional, but that's not what it is. With the Eastern Europeans, with the Cubans, their amateur background is factored into who they are. Andy Cruz sitting at 4-0 or 5-0 is one of the up and coming prospects at 135 because of his amateur and his Olympic background and what he's done. We know who he is already. We don't need him to fight 15, 20 times. We want to see him tested still, but we don't talk about him the way we talk about Carmel Moten. Right? Carmel Moten has work to do. He's a youngster. He's doing his thing. We understand what we're looking at when we look at Andy Cruz. David Morell brings that same pedigree to the table. If David Benavidez is able to dominate this dude, this is going to be a huge statement for David Benavidez. This is going to be this is why Canelo didn't want no parts of David Benavidez. That's what this fight is going to be, Blue. Oh, I get it. This is why Canelo ain't want no. Well, if he dominates David Morell, people are going to double down on why Canelo didn't fight him. They're going to double down on it, bro.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. and that's my thing, man. I just want, credit to be see cool. What's up, family? I just want credit to be placed where it's due. You know what I'm saying? Same with accountability. You know what I mean? I think this is I think, in my opinion, Clay, I think this is an underrated fight.
I don't know why it's underrated, but hey, man, let it be underrated. This fight right here this is a fight that we rarely get an opportunity to see, which is two fighters in their prime fighting each other, not getting timed out and waited on for one guy to get old or one guy to take a loss or one guy to get exposed by a right fighter. Both these guys are undefeated. Both these guys have dominated everybody that they fought against. Both of them are coming off lackluster performances at 175. You know what I'm saying? This is a fight that you rarely get an opportunity to see, man. It's going to be a fight that sets the year off. It's going to set the bar for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a great fight, man. I'm so excited about this fight. So excited, man.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, man. I just think I don't think this fight can't. If there was ever a can't miss fight, I think this is it. There's no chance for this fight to be boring.
I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it being boring. I don't even understand what that looks like. What does a boring fight between David Benavidez and David Morell look like? Like, what are they doing? Like, they're counter punching each other. They're not letting their hands go. What's happening? Like, what's a boring fight between David Morell and David Benavidez even look like? Mm-hmm. Especially after that last presser you just had. No way.
And then another thing is what it means moving forward, right? Because now the winner fights Beterbiev, Bivol winner.
Undisputed, baby. Come on, man.
That's huge. That's another major fight. It don't matter who wins. It don't matter who wins either fight.
No, it doesn't.
The winner of both fights versus each other is huge.
Big money, too, for him. How about this one, though, Blue? How do they manage this with Turkey when this fight's all said and done? I mean, these are PBC fighters. This is a PBC event, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you mean with the winner?
With the winner fighting against the winner between Beterbiev and
well, it won't matter, remember, because they still a B-side.
Right.
So they're gonna have to go to Turkey anyway.
Yeah, it's my question is, we'll see, man. I don't, because look, man, I get the bad rap, bro. I'm always hating on the PBC. So let me stop.
No, but you gotta look at it from this standpoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say everything was on the up and up for everybody, right? It's still, at the end of the day, you still the B-side.
Right.
You still gotta concede to Turkey and that side because they're the A side and they're the undisputed champion.
Right.
And not to mention, let's say Bivol won, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I got a trilogy. I got a rubber match with Benavidez. So that's a big fight. If Bivol is to beat Beterbiev, the trilogy is big. It's going to be a high demand.
Yeah.
Right? So, again, why do I have to come to you? You see what I'm saying?
No, all the cards is on Turkey's side, is on the zone side, is on, Riyadh season side. You know what I mean? They're going to have to.
You know what it's going to look like? When Wilder rematched Tyson Fury and had to go to ESPN. That's what it'll look like.
Right.
That's exactly what it's going to look like. And here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about it is that Benavidez and Morell operate on their own anyway.
That's what it seems like right now.
Oh no, that's what they do. Remember, Simpson, they
paid for the fight.
they made this fight happen. Now they have, I guess they have legal obligations to the PBC, right? But
yeah, I
still, at
don't
the end
know,
of the
man.
day,
It's going to be interesting to watch it play out because I thought, I'll be honest with you, I'm assuming David Benavidez renewed his contract with the PBC because from what I understood when he fought against Caleb Plant, that was his last fight under that contract, from what I understand, or his second to last fight. Like, you know what I mean? The fight that he fought against Usyk would have been the last fight. You know what I mean? But he's still fighting on a PBC card, so he must have renewed the contract. In all reality, David Benavidez is lined up to get a great deal with the PBC because, you know, you got Gervonta Tank Davis talking about retiring after the end of 2025. He's clearly disgruntled and indifferent about the whole thing going on with the PBC. Canelo Alvarez, I keep telling you guys, I don't consider him a PBC fighter. He goes wherever he got to go. He don't care. Here today, gone tomorrow. I'm pretty sure his contract he had is up after he went ahead and fought Edgar Berlanga. You know what I mean? So they're going to have to entice him with money. David Benavidez is their face of boxing right now. Is their premier fighter at the PBC right now. You'd have to think that. Like, I don't know nobody else who I'd put above him over there outside of Tank and Canelo, and both those guys are questionable right now. So he might have renewed, and you know what I mean, the bag might be behind him the way he needs the bag to be. I don't know, but for him to become an undisputed champion, he's going to be working with Turkey.
And think about this, right, Clay?
Mm-hmm.
If Benavidez wins the fight, ain't nobody stopping him from going over there with Turkey and fighting the winner of that Bivol Beterbiev fight.
I hope not. There should be no reason for it to, but if it gets stopped, it'll be diabolical.
He don't operate like that. Right. Like, look with this fight. You know what I'm saying? He's not the type of person to let those roadblocks prevent him from doing anything.
Right.
He's not sitting back and letting them dictate nothing with his legacy. No, sir. He's gonna be like, listen, I got this fight on the table now. I gotta go get my opportunity. I don't know what y'all talking about. But he ain't gonna play the politic game where, oh well, the politics, you know, is standing in the way and we can't do this and we can't. He ain't doing that.
Right.
He ain't doing that. As long as it makes sense, you know what I'm saying, as far as he ain't getting gypped, you know what I'm saying, with the money that's gonna be offered to him, he taking a deal because he's looking to build his legacy, not his. He wants to take care of his family, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he's looking to build his legacy before
100%.
anything.
100%. I agree.
So it's just like this Morell fight. You see, he was like, man, he was supposed to fight Jesse Hart, remember?
Exactly. And he changed that up.
Yeah, he like, man, I'm not fighting Jesse Hart. I'm fighting David Morell. This the fight y'all want to see me fight? That's what I'm doing.
Right.
So he ain't gonna let them as an opportunity like that to fight the winner before. Oh no, sir. No, sir. Oh, y'all got a personal gripe where y'all don't want to do business. That's cool. I'm not gonna be in the middle.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be in the middle. You won't slow up my career.
Yeah, he's legacy driven and he's headstrong.
Right.
You know, he's what you want. I'll be honest with you. He's what you want Tank to be. You want Tank to be like David Benavidez, Errol Spence. That's what everybody's begging for him to be. This is what all the complaint is about. They want him to be headstrong and push the envelope and make these fights happen.
Exactly. So David Benavidez is not trying to hear nobody holding up his career where he can't fight for undisputed on top of that and a big fight, because if Artur Beterbiev wins that fight, he will be undefeated and undisputed. Mm-hmm. Ain't no way on this green earth that David Benavidez is going to let them prevent him from having that fight because they dealing with politics. That's not going to happen.
100%.
That ain't going to happen. So he ain't letting that stand in his way. No sirree. Now, David Morell, on the other hand, I don't know. He might go, like, all right, I don't want to, ruffle no feathers, and
Right. He'll move with it.
yeah, he'll go with the flow.
Right.
Right. Benavidez ain't doing that. He ain't
It's
doing
gonna be
that.
interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Are you still going with David on this one? Benavidez, I mean.
I have to go with Benavidez because I'm like, it's just proven, right? It's just hard for me to go against him because he's just so proven. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, like 50, like 60-40, 65-35, 70-30. Is it changing as time is moving on?
I still got it as like, I think it's like 55-45 type of thing.
Okay, so it's still damn near 50-50.
Yes, it's a very close fight. Very close fight. I couldn't really say. I'm going with David Benavidez because I've seen him weather the storm. I've seen him in higher profile fights. I've seen him deal with different styles. I've seen him do it.
Right.
We've seen him do it. You know what I'm saying? We've seen him in there with Andre, who's a southpaw, high ring IQ. Now, do they have the physical intangibles that David Morell has? No. Right? But do they have Demetrius Andre ain't that much smaller than Morell.
But he didn't have the power. If Demetrius had the power, it would have been a different fight, I think, because he was hitting him with shots.
It could have been a different fight, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's seen those. Morell ain't never seen nothing like Benavidez. Benavidez has seen somewhat of what Morell looks like.
With who?
With Andre, Caleb Plant, Anthony Durrell, Govdick, Ronald Graville. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they are him, but he has an idea in the high level. Like Andre is a high level southpaw with high ring IQ and boxing ability that's very slick.
But all these guys you mentioned were successful in being able to connect with David Benavidez.
Right.
David Benavidez gets his defense questioned because of these fights. Like people were like, look how.
And that's my thing. He was able to adjust to what they was doing and weather the storm, right?
But he had to weather the storm.
That's what I'm saying. But we seen him weather in adversity.
But we didn't see David Morell adversity. We didn't see Hurricane Category 6.
No, that's what I'm saying. But we've seen him in adversity. I don't know if Morell, what was Morell going to do when he is faced with adversity and Benavidez. Let's say he can't hurt Benavidez. Right. Like we think he can.
Bad. If he can't hurt Benavidez, he loses easily.
And Benavidez is still able to come forward.
Yeah, it's bad. It's horrible.
It's bad. You know what I'm saying? So Morell has more questions to answer than Benavidez. If that makes sense.
Yes, I agree with you 100%.
And you look at Morell last fight against a less of an opponent because.
But a mover, that's a different animal. Just somebody who's moving.
Yeah, Hot Rod is a mover, but Govdick is a better fighter.
Yes, but David Benavidez was tested more in his last fight than David Morell was. David Morell was just getting outmaneuvered, outboxed. He was getting frustrated. Vozick actually presented danger.
And again, in that situation, and Hot Rod's a good fighter, but he ain't that. And he frustrated to the point where he wasn't letting his hands go. He wasn't listening to the corner. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you seen that. Benavidez was in there with Govdick, who only lost to Berturbiev.
But a Vozick who's aged out a little bit. That athleticism isn't there, like David Morell.
That craftiness. Your first fight at that weight class against him, that's crafty, and he was somewhat active. And keep in mind, he was beating Berturbiev that fight until he got injured and clipped.
I mean, but that's resume to a degree because Vozick is older. He's just not the same dude. Like he
Yeah,
was. That's not who David didn't fight that Vosdick.
He's not, but even that Vosdick beats Hot Rod.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, and now take that Gosdick and put him in there with David Morell. That might not. He facing adversity.
I don't know if Hot Rod beats that Vosdick. I don't know if Vosdick beats that Hot Rod. Like, I just think, styles make fights. Hot Rod is a boxer moving around, scoring. Vosdick wasn't that fast in this fight. He wasn't athletic.
He was in shape and he was crafty though.
Yes, he was.
He was in shape and he was crafty. I'm not saying he was the guy, Julian Spock. I didn't say he was the guy that fought Berterbiev. I'm saying that's the only blemish on his resume.
Right. I mean, he's a high pedigree Eastern European boxer. He's shown improving. You know what I'm saying? He's shown improving. Yeah. Just that version of him. I don't know if that version of him is a fair test or confirmation as to David Benavidez's pedigree at 175. I give Vosdick all the credit in the world. And once again, also considering the fact that David Morell is not a 175 pounder either, really. He's a 168 guy who came up to 175.
And that's what I'm saying, right? I give Benavidez credit because that's his first fight at 75.
Right.
With a guy
and David Morell.
Yeah. But now you fighting a guy who was a champion, who only lost a fight in his mind. If he didn't get injured and then get clipped, he would have been undisputed or unified, right? And he was in great shape, Gosdick. Now, Father Time is undefeated. But that's the guy you fought in your first fight at 175 and a guy that was just as big or bigger than you. For everybody, we always say he's just the bigger guy in the ring. He wasn't the bigger guy that night. You know what I'm saying? So he had to go to places that he wasn't used to. So what I'm saying is he's accumulated experience in different situations that he can put to David Morell fight.
So let me ask you this. Does David Benavidez's ability to take a punch make a difference on how this fight goes?
No, his ability to take Morell's punch is
that's what I'm saying. David Benavidez's ability to take a punch from David Morell. Because David Morell will connect in this fight, right? Like he's going to connect.
That's what's going to come. Because no slight to David Benavidez. They know I love them. But he's going to get hit clean.
It's going to happen.
It's going to
happen. David knows how to deliver the shot.
It's going to happen early.
It's kind of like Deontay. Like people slept on Deontay and said Deontay wasn't the high IQ boxer, this and that. But one thing Deontay knew how to do was he knew how to deliver that right hand. He knew how to set that up. He knew how his timing, whatever speed, however you want, whatever credit, he knew how to connect with that shot. You had to know that he was going to connect. The danger that Tyson Fury provided to Deontay Wilder was his ability to take that shot. I was like, boom, yeah, you hit me, but I'm gonna still be here. This is when it became dangerous for Deontay. Outside of that, the name of the game was don't get punched by this dude. And how are you gonna evade getting punched by this dude?
And my thing is, I think that early we're gonna find out extremely early. I think that Morell will hide a few punches early in that fight, especially in the first, second round, that Benavidez is not gonna see because he's like a he's like one of you got to rev him up sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He got to get warmed up, right? And I just think that there's a hook or a left hand that's going to get in early. And another thing is, don't know if you believe this or see this, but I think Morell going to jab him right in the middle of the solar plex.
100%. He's going to attack that body. He's going to attack that soft stuff in the middle that he's sitting on that we saw. He took that shirt off. He's going to work that body.
Oh, yeah. And David Benavidez is going to have to answer some questions.
Big facts.
The reason I give him the edge, though, is because I've seen him answer those questions. Whether the opponents broke because of his pressure and they wasn't able to withstand it. You know what I mean? They started to fold. Andre, Caleb Plant, Anthony Durrell, right? So we seen it. I just seen him do it. Everything looks different when you're in the ring with certain fighters. So Morell is he going to have the, like we say in football, is he going to have the clear pocket to throw those darts?
Right.
That we are accustomed to seeing him throw. You know what I'm saying? Suddenly, when you're getting blitzed, your accuracy down the field on your long ball starts to change.
Right. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's what makes this so great, and I can't wait. But that's my reason for giving Benavidez the edge, is just simply based off of that. I think that he just been through more adversity. The Thunder becoming an official channel member, family member of this here Blue Blood Sports TV. Yeah, man, salute. AK Crowder, what's up, family? Nick J said, if David Benavidez didn't always look like that, I'd be concerned. He's never been ripped. Morell was schooled. See, here's the thing, right, Nick? I get what you're saying, but this time he looked extremely out of shape. Like, listen, man. The last time, what fight? That was the Andre fight or Caleb Plant fight where he lost all that weight?
Caleb.
Yeah.
It was Caleb.
Like, and then the Andre fight, he ain't look like this.
Nah. I think that my thing is David Morell. This, I've always been like, stylistically speaking, I just haven't seen David Benavidez in the ring with a threat like David Morell before. And I think this is important because David Benavidez has been able to overwhelm. You hear David Benavidez saying very key things in his interviews. Everybody I fought says the same thing. Everybody comes with the same energy. That lets you know that he's not impressed with what David Morell thinks he brings to the table. Is he going to look at David Morell as the biggest puncher and the biggest threat that he's ever fought, or is he going to look at him like, you still a 168 pounder? You're not a 175 pounder, bro. I fought all the 168 pounders, and I grade all the 168 pounders above you. So I think I'm going to walk up on you and deal with you the way I've dealt with the 168 pounders. I question that approach to this fight. I question the approach that I'm going to do to David Morell what I did to Caleb Plant, do to David Morell what I did with Boo Boo, do to David Morell what I did with Lemieux, Anthony Durrell. I'm going to do to you what I did to the other guys at 168. They all said I was a threat. They all said they could punch with me. They all said they can deal with my pressure, and they all folded. Is that the right approach to this fight with David Morell? I mean, we'll find out February 1st, but I question that because you're giving David Morell the best opportunity he has at capitalizing on the biggest strength he brings to the table. You're not taking away his strength and making him find you. You're going to be there because for you to do what you did to those other guys, you have to present yourself in a way that's going to present yourself as a target for David Morell. I think it's going to be interesting to see.
I think he'd make a major mistake looking at David Morell like that, because David Morell was, along with him, was viewed as an extremely massive 68 pounder. If he come in this fight and he looking at David Morell like they still at 168 and I'm a Mack truck run right over you, he gonna be in trouble.
For sure. And Nick J, salute, Queen. I hear you. You're judging him based off of the worst fight that we've seen him in, which, by the way, he won. But stylistically speaking, this is a different fight. Hot Rod was a mover, a boxer. He was not walking. He wasn't walking David Morell down. He wasn't putting the pressure on David Morell. That fight is not a good gauge as what you can expect David Morell to do against David Benavidez. David Benavidez is has nowhere near the athleticism that Hot Rod has. Right? He just doesn't. He's not that kind of fighter. He's a come forward, volume punching, pressure type fighter. That's right up David Morell's alley, bro. Like, that's, if David Morell wants to fight anybody, he wants that to happen. He wants David Benavidez to walk at him because now he doesn't have to find him. And the question is, how will David Benavidez stand up to the power of David Morell? Because the longer it takes for him to get him out of there, the more punches he's going to take. David Morell's not going to sit there and just be a punching bag. This is not happening. Like the great Teddy Atlas once said, it's great when he's punching that bag. But the difference is that bag is not punching back. That bag is not punching back. So let's see what he does with that energy.
Antonio Short, brother in the super chat, dropping that dub on the super chat. He said, "Happy holidays, great brother Blue and Claymore Reigns. Salute to you. Happy holidays to you too, great brother. Much love, family.
Salute, family."
Yeah, it's going to be extremely interesting, man. I absolutely can't wait. This is a can't miss fight, man. I simply just can't wait for this fight, man. But that takes me into the Terrence Crawford Canelo Alvarez fight, right, Clay?
Right.
Because it's like, here we are again, similar situation, right? Skills versus size and pressure, right? But in this case, like I said, he's not bigger than Terrence Crawford. He's heavier than Terrence Crawford. There's a difference, right? And that's why I give Terrence Crawford such an opportunity to win this fight. So many people in my inbox and they're like, "Blue, why are you giving Terrence Crawford so much chances to win this fight?" And I'm like, because skills pay the bills. And if Canelo was Dave Benavidez, I'd say Terrence Crawford is outside his mind. Too many obstacles to overcome. Arm reach, height, power, conditioning, just too many things, right? But in this case, it's not the same thing because Terrence Crawford is actually taller with a massive arm reach advantage. He's about 1 inch taller. He has 4-inch arm reach advantage. And Canelo's not the biggest 68 pounder. People are looking at the weight, 168. He's 68 pounds, and Terrence Crawford fighting at 54, and Terrence Crawford fought at 130. Yeah, well, guess what? Canelo fought at 147 at one point in time in their career. When Terrence Crawford fought at 130 and 35 pounds, he was 22 years old, just like 22, 23 years old, just like Canelo was when he fought at 147 and 154. Terrence Crawford is very disciplined, very active, and so he stays in the gym, and he's always he crunches down. Remember, Terrence Crawford said this about the Errol Spence fight. Remember, Clay? He said, I'm getting tired of trying to hold this weight.
Right.
At 147. You know what I'm saying? Even at 154, remember he did the interview and somebody asked him, wasn't much of a difference. He said it still wasn't easy to do 54.
Right.
So it's just that he's a constant profession. So when you constantly professional and you always active, you make the weight, and people confuse that with being little. He's not little. It's like Boots Ennis is naturally bigger than Terrence Crawford, but he fights at 47.
Right. I think the better fighter boxer is going to win this fight. I think the leverage that you guys think Canelo brings to the table is the same leverage you guys thought Errol brought to the table. And granted, Errol was at 147. I get it. But I think people are sleeping on. Listen, man, Andre Ward said it best. I just can't bet against this guy. You're going to have to beat this guy to show me you can beat this guy. His ability to overcome his mind, how cerebral he is in that ring. And he is a puncher. I know you guys don't like to acknowledge it because you feel like when he gets in the ring with Canelo Alvarez that this puncher part of him is no longer a factor because Canelo can take shots from the Hulk himself. I get the narrative and the whole entire picture that's been painted about Canelo Alvarez, right? But Terrence Bud Crawford has the ability to compete with this man at the highest levels outside of the strength that you think Canelo brings to the table that's going to be stronger than Terrence. If Terrence is able to diffuse that early, this is going to be a bad night for Canelo. If Terrence's power translates at 168, if his power translates, if they get into a clinch and you see Terrence Crawford push Canelo off and throw him into a corner, brother, the tables are going to change. because I believe in my heart Terrence Crawford is a better fighter and boxer than Canelo Alvarez. I think what you guys are betting on is that the strength is going to overwhelm him, that he's not going to be able to deal with what Canelo. If he's able to translate that power into 168, this is going to be a bad night for Canelo, guys. I'm telling you, because Terrence is the better fighter. Terrence is the better fighter.
Not to mention, right, Clay? And let me get the super chat. J Pity City, my brother in the super chat, dropping that half a dub on us in the super chat. He said Morell wasn't all that impressive in his last fight. Meanwhile, David Benavidez outboxed a member off that vaunted 2012 Ukrainian team, and he did that while allegedly injured during the fight. Oh, yeah, you know what, J Pity City? I forgot he was injured too.
Yeah. That's why I said he walked into that fight supposedly with some injuries that held him back from performing the way he wanted to against Vosdick. That's what he said.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that, man. Johnny Merck's brother in the super chat. Much love, family. Bivol or Beterbiev ever going to be a problem? Oh, either or. Win, lose, or draw, they're going to be a problem for whoever. They all going to be a problem for each other, the four of them. They're all a problem. But, Clay, people keep, and I told somebody this in my inbox earlier. Man, dude said to me, Crawford can't hurt Canelo. I said, he ain't got to hurt him. He got to outpoint him.
Right. And he got to discourage him a little bit on walking him down.
He might not even have to do that. Paulie Malignaggi is a 2-division champion. He had like 6 knockouts his whole entire career. You know what I'm saying?
And who was Canelo stopped lately? What was the last fighter you saw? It was Caleb? And Caleb was giving him everything. Caleb was working with him until the later rounds when that conditioning became a factor.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, so
salute Exit Red.
Exit Red, what's up, family? Dub C, what up, nephew?
Yo, everybody thinks something was wrong with me. Like, somebody came in my chat earlier today on my live, was like, man, I'm glad to hear you're okay, man. I was like, what the hell happened in the past 4 days since I've been gone? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was like, nah, man, I ain't see you on the lives with Blue. I ain't see this. I'm like, damn, bro, nah, bro. I don't work during the weekends. You know what I'm saying? I actually have to work during the weekend. So it's hard on the weekdays, but that's interesting.
And I wasn't even live.
I know. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, good to see Clay back too. I mean, I appreciate being missed, man, and appreciate it being taken into consideration, man. I appreciate it, but yeah, I'm good, man.
Yeah, I know people keep asking me, am I all right? I don't feel good at all. That was my wife giving me shots. The shots.
What shots you giving you, man? Shots of Robitussin, bro? Shots of
ginger. She make these homemade ginger
and cayenne pepper and
yeah,
and lemon. Yeah, that's just good for you.
Yeah, so that's why my little.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That'll get you together.
Yeah.
You know what it is too? You're working out. And when you work out as much as you're working out, it does take a shot at your immune system. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes your immune system takes a shot to rebuild and get itself on point. So you're more susceptible to getting sick if you're not taking the right supplements, because you're burning a lot and, you know, the body temperature getting hot, going outside into the cold, dealing with that in and out of the gym. You become more susceptible to those type of things when you work out. Yeah, I know. I used to work out like crazy, bro. I used to be one of them. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I ain't even think about that.
Yeah. Even when you're cutting a lot of weight or things of that nature, those fighters are also, you know, they got to be careful. They can get sick easily because your immune system takes a shot to shock your body like that and be doing something unnatural to it. Not unnatural, but just to say, like, you know, you're not somebody who lives in the gym. You're doing something right now. You're losing weight. You're coming out of the gym into the cold, so your body has to adjust to that. And a lot of times it'll get sick. You're more susceptible. Your immune system takes a shot.
Yeah, man. That's what happened to Ryan Garcia, right? He started cutting that weight, and all them performance enhancers started showing up.
No doubt, no doubt. Listen, man.
I had to take it. That was there.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. Look, I've been thinking about going to my doctor and getting some TRT going on and some hormone. Like, listen, bro, I ain't competing, bro. I ain't no athlete, bro. I'll take a shot, bro. Get me together.
Hey, dog fight. My brother in the super chat dropping that half a dub. He said, "Happy New Year, great brothers. More blessings and more boxes."
More boxing for sure. 2025 looks like it's going to be a crazy year for boxing.
and it's gonna kick off February 1st with a banger.
For sure.
I
I mean, honestly, January 25th, we still got that. We got that Diego Pacheco Steve Nelson fight as well. So this is gonna be.
Oh man, how I forget about that?
Big fight, Stone Cold fighting.
That's
shot selector.
How you see that fight?
Man, I mean, obviously the youth is on Diego Pacheco's side. This is his time. This is going to be a fight that's going to let us know a lot about Diego Pacheco. I think Steve Nelson is just confident in himself. He's coming from a great camp, great sparring partners. I like the way he selects his shots. I mean, I got to lean towards Diego. I'm leaning towards Diego Pacheco to be able to just use his attributes, those long arms, his height. He's like a little, like a, dare I say, a young David Benavidez. David Benavidez isn't even that old. But I'm leaning towards Diego Pacheco in this fight. But I think Steve Nelson is going to test him in a way he's never been tested before. That's what I believe.
Fight, Luther Boy, brother in the super chat, he said, "Bro, Bud different. I don't see him losing." Me neither. I don't see him losing.
Is that you in the picture, Luther, with Bud? Yeah, man.
I don't see Bud losing.
Yeah, I don't see him losing, man. You're gonna have to beat him to show me you can beat him. There's nobody you're gonna put Bud in the ring with that Bud wants to fight. Now, if you put him in there with Usyk or, you know what I mean,
it's just outrageous.
Right, yeah, but if you give him any ability to, he will find where there's a will, there's a way with Bud, man. He gonna handle it.
Yeah, I just think that he's just, and I don't think people are realizing how twitchy Bud is either. When you watch the when you look at the Madrimov fight, man, he looked twitchy. Like, I don't know what people was watching.
He looked great in that fight. It's just that people,
great.
They don't know how to give Madrimov the respect he deserves. I understand that. That's why I said this fight that Madrimov's about to have with Bochuk, I think is going to speak a lot to what happened in that fight. You guys are going to get some understanding.
No, they're not fighting, remember?
Yeah, they are. Oh, no, you're right. Madrimov against Virgil, sorry, in that fight. You're going to see a lot in that fight.
He pulled out the Bochuk fight.
Like he should have. I don't know what he was thinking trying to make that fight happen.
Man.
Yeah, so we're just talking about that.
Let's get into our picks. Fighter, where you want to start?
I want to start at upset of the year. I want to start at the negative side, on the dark side of the moon. You know what I'm saying? I want to start at the dark side of the moon and head into it. So upset of the year, man. Like, listen, man, there's ones to bring to the table, right? I mean, clearly, I think the one at the top of the list has to be Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, right? That's definitely on the top of the conversation as a candidate for upset of the year. And then obviously we have Jaime Munguia and Bruno Sarace. Big time upset right there. Some people might even want to put Angela Leo and Lewis. What's my guy's name, man? What's my guy's name, man? I probably got to look at my notes. I might have it in my notes. Do I have in my notes? Luis Lopez, Fernando Lopez, right? That was an upset too. People didn't expect Angelio to do that. I've got my pick for upset of the year. Even the H2O fight was an upset. You know what I mean? Lucas Body was not considered to be the guy who was going to beat H2O. Don't forget, H2O was in the conversation of fighting Floyd Schofield, right? That was what the fight was supposed to be. Lucas Body wasn't supposed to do what he did. But who do you got as upset of the year? Let's just be honest. Upset of the year.
Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia.
100%. And don't forget Tim Tszyu and Bakram. That's in the conversation as well.
I think that was more upset because of the way it happened. The way the way it was so easy, it wasn't competitive, right? I think that makes it upset of the year.
Which one, Tim?
I mean, that makes it
a candidate
in the conversation, right?
Right.
But
Tim started off at the top. Going into 2024, Tim Tszyu was the top of the food chain in 154. They were talking about this guy was the guy. That's who they wanted to see fight Terrence, right? He got in that crazy fight with Fundora, got his head split to the white meat, it looked bad for him. But still going into that fight against Bakram, he was favored. This was supposed to be like a damn near, I don't want to say cherry pick, but he was supposed to get that belt and be right back in that conversation. They were expecting him to win and be back in there trying to fight Terrence or fighting Fundora again, a rematch. They were not taking Bakram serious, and he got dominated in that fight.
You're right. But I want to put an upset in there. That dude won. Right? He got the nod, but he ain't look like it. And that's Virgil Ortiz and Sergey Boachuk.
That's what I was thinking you were talking about. That's fight of the year candidate as well. But upset of the year?
That's my fight of the year.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
But Virgil was supposed to, he looked superhuman. He looked very
regular.
In the very first fight he had that somebody really put up resistance, he looked average.
Yeah.
He looked like, no disrespect, but he looked like a typical Mexican fighter. Just coming forward, no flash, no flare, no adjustments. He looked like the epitome of Mexican style, just coming forward.
Yeah, but are we not giving Boachuk the credit he deserves by saying that? Are we sitting here not? I knew the fight was going to be competitive. I knew it was going to be fight of the year candidate. You guys can check the history of the videos that I made. I told everybody this was going to be a FOTY. This was going to be a fight of the year candidate. 100%. I was telling everybody this weeks before the fight. So are we not giving Sergey Boachuk the credit he deserves to say that this was potentially one of the biggest upsets of the year, considering that Virgil Ortiz, never fought more than like 3 rounds at 154. All the fights he fought, he was knocking dudes out in the first round, second round with body shots and head shots. Secondly, he never even made 154 before he fought Boachuk. He was fighting like 156, 155 and change. He was fighting these catchweight fights. He never was able to fight at 154. Are we not factoring the fact that this man almost died trying to make his way at 147 and his career almost ended? Why did we go into this fight not expecting this fight to be as competitive as it was?
Because of the praise that he got.
But can we sit here and say that that's a legitimate upset of the year in comparison to Tim Tszyu, in comparison to H2O and Luca's body, in comparison to you know what I mean, into these other upsets, into even a Jaime Munguia and a Bruno Sarate. Right.
For me, where he was, how he was perceived, where he was, he just looked, he looked average. Like he looked, you know what I'm saying? Like he looked like, oh man, there was nothing wrong with him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's like my perception of him dropped 3 pegs. You know what I'm saying? It's like I didn't see the versatility, I didn't see the adjustments, and it just revealed a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? Where even when you watch the fight, right? You go back and rewatch the fight. Yes, Sergey Boachuk is but he was sloppy. For what Virgil Ortiz is painted to be, Sergey Boachuk was sloppy in that fight, man.
But what did we see Virgil Ortiz do in his career as a boxer that we didn't see him do against Surrey? Like, in my opinion, Virgil boxed better than I've seen him box in a long time. Got on his jab, showed that he's his combination punching, showed his conditioning, showed his will, showed his grit. He looked okay. Just Surrey was that good.
The thing that disappointed me was getting hit with the same punch over and over again. That disappointed me. You know what I'm saying?
Caught him off guard, lulled into security, lulled into believing his power.
Yeah, and he never made the adjustments, and that worried me. It was like with Fury with Usyk.
Mm-hmm.
He never made an adjustment to the left hand ever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
let me ask you this though: Sergey Boachuk, Virgil Ortiz. Are we anticipating seeing something like this with David Morrell, David Benavidez?
Yes.
Is this the kind of fight that it's going to end up being?
Yes. But somebody going to sleep.
That's going to be crazy. Y'all better get on this damn David Benavidez, David Morrell train. This is going to be a fight, bro.
Somebody get knocked out. It ain't going to end because they are more. They're more twitchy. They're more resilient. They're not as sloppy. They have a higher ring IQ. Like I said, Boachuk, Virgil, they were squaring up at times, and you know what I'm saying. Like they just at times it looked a little amateurish. You know what I'm saying. Like they look like Rock'em Sock'em robots at times. You know what I mean. Where this is going to be punches being hidden. You know what I'm saying. Oh, he got hit with a punch we ain't even see. You know what I'm saying.
Right.
Like Virgil kept getting hit with the punch we seen coming. He seen it coming and getting dropped with it. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. You know what I mean? This Morell and Benavidez, it's going to be different because it's going to be like, boom, boom, boom. Oh, where'd that come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just going to be, I just think it's going to
be. As far as upset of the year, I ain't going to lie to you, bro. I can't put that fight was just too good. Upset makes me think something negative, and that fight was too good. I can't put them in the upset of the year conversation. I just can't. Both those guys, look what Sir he just did with Ishmael Davis. I mean, he's just proven, man. If he wasn't who he was, I would say it was an upset. But in my opinion, Virgil Ortiz winning was damn near an upset because Serhii Boachuk was the defending interim WBC title holder in that fight. He was the goods. It was Virgil who had something to prove. Virgil was the one proving that he was supposed to be at 154 and competing on that level with that type of fighter. Virgil was the one who we had questions about. Virgil came off of almost dying off of cutting weight to be at 147. He fought 2 or 3 tune-up fights at 155, not even at 154. Didn't even show that he can make that weight in a healthy way. He was the one that all the questions was going to be on. In my opinion, going into that fight, I was like, is Virgil Ortiz really a 154-pounder? Can he compete at this level? Because he was fighting somewhere that he was forced to fight at because he couldn't make 147 anymore.
So let me ask you this. And salute to Luther Boy in the super chat, dropping that half a Durham in the super chat. He said, yeah, that's me on the picture. And yes, Bud is very twitchy. And I thought he fought well in his last fight. People really don't know boxing. He beat dude easy. Man, bro, Bud like Bruce Lee. Yeah, Bud is different, man. I'm trying to tell people, but
water, baby.
You're gonna find out. But let me ask you this. Is Jared Anderson, Bacoli are upset?
I think casual fans would say that, but if you watched and studied Martin Bacoli, I was telling everybody as well, check the receipts. I was telling everybody this Larry Holmes, George Foreman, African Congo dude was going to be an issue for Jared Anderson. Somebody who wasn't committed to the sport, who was just trying to make money, who just took the money grab, who just came off of fighting some Frenchman, Riyadh somebody. I can't remember what his name was, but just wasn't fighting the caliber of fighter that he was getting in front of. On top of that, he got exposed a little bit with Martin, with Charles Martin, just a little bit in that fight. Charles Martin was able to hurt him. The fact that Jared Anderson wasn't committed to the sport of boxing, I knew this was going to be the ultimate test. If you don't know boxing or don't follow boxing as closely as me and Blue does, you might have thought that. But another thing I knew was Turkey don't give easy fights. Turkey don't give you easy fights. It just don't happen. Turkey does not give anybody easy fights. If you see Turkey's people making the matchmaking, know that the fight is going to be competitive. And the less you know, the more you should watch the fight, because more than likely you're about to get surprised. I can't say that was an upset. That was an exposing. There was an exposing happening there. The sheets were pulled off of the magic hat, the magic trick. You got to see what happened in the backstage and realize that Jared Anderson ain't really the person y'all thought he was, but not an upset. Not an upset. But I think casual fans would say that because Jared Anderson had a lot of weight behind him as far as who he was supposed to be in the conversation of American heavyweight boxing.
Do you think that you saw Jared Anderson yesterday saying that
he wants to run it back?
Yeah. You think he can make adjustments and win the fight?
Anderson, look, Jared Anderson is he has the foundation to build a great heavyweight boxer on. Athletic, punches hard. He boxes pretty well. He boxes very well. He got good movement. But he has to be committed to the sport, and he has to sacrifice. He has to sacrifice for this sport for the sport to give him what he wants out of it, especially when he's talking about competing at the highest level. So can Jared Anderson do it for all argument's sake? Yes. Is he willing to pay that price? Is he willing to pay the cost? You know what I mean? Is he willing to work with Sugar Hill? Is he willing to move, sacrifice and get trainers that can train a heavyweight championship level boxer? That I don't know. But can he? He has a foundation to do it. He brings that leverage to the table with anybody he fights. He's going to be more athletic than 8 out of 10 of the people he gets in the ring with in the heavyweight division. Will he? We'll see. Right now, I think he should leave Martin Bakole the hell alone. I don't think he should go nowhere near that dude. I think that dude is really the goods in the heavyweight division. I think he's really the goods. You know,
I said this yesterday, right? I would like to see him fight Michael Hunter next.
Yeah, fight Michael. I said before Frank Sanchez, I thought would be a good fighter. There fights there for him to make. I mean, he's in the conference. He's an ambassador of Riyadh season. He can't go down and fight prospects. He has to fight, to get the money with Turkey. You're going to get lined up with dangerous fights. They're going to want to see you show and prove. I think the most legitimate fight I've seen for him next, I'll be honest with you, I think Jarrell Big Baby Miller is the fight, you know what I'm saying, for him to make. I think that's close to a tune-up as he's going to get in the heavyweight division right now in the top 10, top 15 guys.
I don't like the Jarrell Miller fight because of the pressure and the durability of Jarrell Miller.
I mean, who is he going to fight? He fights a G Cabello. G Cabello's a body snatcher. He going to violate him, bro. He's going to violate him. I think he violates him. Maybe he fights a Zhele Zhang. Just take advantage of his conditioning and his age and things of that nature. Maybe he could take advantage of that. Joseph Parker's too smart. Daniel Dubois would knock him out. You know what I mean? I don't think he should risk his career against Moses Atuma. Moses Atuma will end his career. Moses will end his career unless he beats him. But Moses is such a prospect. To get knocked out by Moses Atuma, I think would hurt his career bad. I think Jogba is also a legitimate option as well. I agree. Exit to red. Jogba is a legitimate option as well.
I like Jogba. I like Michael Hunter. I like, there's some good fights there for him, man.
Yeah.
Salute to Drew Titan LLC, my brother, the Drew. I told everyone that Anderson was not who he was, sold to us as. The Martin fight told the tale.
Yeah.
But he just showed, man, so much dog and heart. I love what he showed me in the fight. To be somebody who really didn't come across him. I don't think he loves boxing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, when he had that conversation with Roy Jones on the camera, I'm telling you, immediately I said, that man got one foot out the game, bro. It's not going to be good for him. He's going to get hurt. He hasn't even fought for a belt yet, and he's talking about he ready to walk out. He's just trying to get money and leave. Nah, bro.
It was cringy, right?
Good. It was cringy. Even Roy tried to help him out and be like, hey, bro, you built for this. Like, Roy tried to talk him back into it, but your mind got to be in the right place. Jared has to make up his mind what he feels about boxing, what he's here in boxing to do. He needs purpose.
Right.
You know what I mean? Shout out to purpose, because I said it a little bit earlier about these fighters with purpose. What these Eastern Europeans bring to the table is purpose. Martin Bakole came in the ring and fought Jared Anderson with purpose. He's coming from a country. He's not, making as much money as everybody else. He's willing to leave it on the line. Jared can't come out here thinking like everything is sweet, especially in the heavyweight division when everybody on any given Sunday can knock you clean out your boxing shoes. Clean out.
Right.
It wasn't a good look for him, man. So it can, once again, just kind of coming full circle. Can Jared Anderson do it? He has a foundation. He has like the foundation you want to build a house on. You know what I mean? Solid, athletic, smart. You know what I'm saying? Charismatic in front of the camera as far as making him a star. Not a lot of competition in American boxing. He has an opportunity to be in the biggest conversations in boxing, but he's going to need that commitment and that mindset to be able to put out the performance we're looking for him to do. And I don't know if he can do that. And stay the hell away from Martin Bakole. Stay the hell away from this dude, bro. I'm telling you, stay away from just like Tyson Fury did, just like Anthony Joshua did, just like a lot of these fighters who sparred him did. You better stay the hell out the damn way. You better stay the hell out the damn way. So, but look, full circle, who's the upset of the year?
I got to go with I think the Jaime Munguia fight is the upset of the year for me.
That's the one I gave it to. I gave that the upset of the year too.
Yeah, because it was a comeback fight. He went 12 rounds with Canelo, and then you get knocked out by a dude with four knockouts.
Crazy, diabolical.
27 fights
in your own city.
In your own city with one punch. Not even accumulation with one right on the kisser.
That was a super upset. Super upset.
That was shocking, because I think what made it even more shocking is that Jaime Munguia is somebody that seemed to be very, very durable, like Canelo, right? Like got a granite chin, you know what I'm saying, can take a punch. You know, he seemed to be extremely, extremely durable. So for him to get clipped with a dude that only has 4 knockouts and get knocked out with one punch in his hometown, that was diabolical.
It was crazy. It was like, get up. It was like, get up, Jaime. Get up, bro.
It was just unbelievable. You know what I'm saying?
100%. J Pitt was winning the whole fight up to that point. Knocked him down in the second round. Like, was showing out, to be honest with you. Was giving a show to the fans.
Right. So I think we overall agree on that one, right?
Right. Now, who do you have as comeback of the year? Now, I'm gonna give you a couple that I was thinking about, but I'm thinking about Keyshawn Davis. I'm thinking about Daniel Dubois. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, those are my two guys. It was between those two guys. There's other fighters that we could talk about, but those are my two guys. Both those guys coming off of a horrible 2023, had a lot to prove. You know, Keyshawn losing his getting a fight turned into a no contest because he popped on the marijuana charges. You know, kind of talking negative, kind of looked like he was heading in the wrong direction, but had that support around him. Came back into 2024 with a Jose Pedraza, right? Showed out against Jose Pedraza, even though Jose Pedraza was pulled down from 140 supposedly, and 135 was a depleted version of himself. Don't matter. The performance on Keyshawn Davis's side was the way it should have been against somebody like that. Then he fought against Miguel Medueno, showed that he had the fortitude to stay in the paint, didn't let Medueno bully him. Medueno lifted him in the air, damn near about to slam him on the ground. He never gave up that, showed that he could fight inside. Looked like a little Terrence Crawford, to be honest with you, in that fight. And then we seen what he did with a Gustavo Lemos, who kicked the scale off the stage and told him, I don't care. He said, 135 pounds, I don't care about no stinking scales, and kicked the scale off the stage and told everybody to kiss his ass. And Keyshawn said, I ain't going to get you out of this. You be ready in the morning, bro. We throwing these hands and end him inside of 2 rounds. Now in the conversations of fighting a Tank Davis, now has a fight lined up to become a WBO champion. A year later, what a turnaround for Keyshawn Davis and what we're anticipating for him to do in 2025. But then we go into Daniel Dubois. Joe Joyce breaks his eye socket, stops him. They question his heart. He has a couple fights in between, but then it's in the ring with Alexander Usyk. Gets a horrible decision as far as his body shot being considered a low blow. Then, out of frustration, lost all his fire and will because he got tried. Got stopped by Alexander Usyk, a cruiserweight who came up there and stopped him. Who is he going to do it with? Who knows? Had another fight. Found some success there, but ultimately had to fight Jarrell Big Baby Miller in that 5-5 Riyadh season card. Showed he had the heart and the grit. Stopped Jarrell Big Baby Miller in the last round of that fight in a crazy fight, back and forth. Showed that his conditioning was A1. Then got in the ring with a Philippe Ergovich, bro. And Philippe Ergovich was connected in those first 2-3 rounds with those straight right hands. Bang, bang, bang. He was just taking them shots. You hear Don Charles screaming, Danny, come on, Danny. Come on, Danny. Keep your head off the line. And took away that man's fight, bro. Took that fight out of Philippe Ergovich and destroyed him. And then the piece de la resistance went in there with Anthony Joshua and made it look like Anthony Joshua didn't even belong in the ring with him to defend his IBF title that he won in that was a temporary title, that was an interim title, but he was upgraded when they stripped Alexander Usyk about that and ultimately dominated Anthony Joshua in a way we've never seen Anthony Joshua dominated in before, bro. And now he's in the ring screaming on Usyk, talking about he wants his rematch. He's potentially ushering in a whole new era in the heavyweight division. More than likely the most dangerous guy in the heavyweight division outside of Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. I would argue, even in spite of them being there, he's still the most dangerous guy in the heavyweight division. Who do you have as comeback fighter of the year?
I don't even think it's close. I think it's Daniel Dubois. Runaway.
100%.
Runaway. It just, bro, he changed the entire perception of. See, like you said with Keyshawn, right?
Right.
Keyshawn never lost.
Right.
And never quit. There was a stigma that Daniel Dubois is a quitter. Right? Mm-hmm. Even after because I thought he clearly, that was a clean body shot. Usyk should have been ruled knocked down.
Right.
It would have been a knockout. He wasn't going to get up in time. If it was ruled correctly, he was not going to get up in time. He would have been knocked out. So for him to bounce back and do that, look who he did it against, Clay. He did it with Jarrell Miller, who we said was durable. Knocked him out. Philip Hergerich. Anthony Joshua. Like, bro, for him to bounce back the way he bounced back and to face adversity again and say, nah, you will not get me this time. I'm going to show y'all, because he was getting hit by Phillip, right? He was getting 100%. Hit by Jarrell Miller. It would look like, all right, I think we all had it in our brain, like it's just a matter of time before he pack it in.
He got hit so much, I favored Anthony Joshua in the fight, because I'm like, if he gets hit like that, but Anthony with them straight right hands, he ain't going to be able to weather that.
Right. He ain't gonna. And up here, right? He's not mentally, bro. He bounced back different.
Yeah, bro.
And his whole demeanor today and his is like, bro. It's like he found himself again from before the Joe Joyce fight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like he's like, because he was having a lot of success against Joe Joyce. He just got his eye broken, and then he packed
That's
it
a fact. Competitive fight until he got hurt.
Yeah, until he got hurt. I would love to see him rematch Joe Joyce.
Joe's out of there though, man. He just lost against Derek Chisora. It'd be him aiming down.
I just want to see him just get that,
like revenge. Clean that up. Just clean that up.
Clean that up, bro. Just clean it up. But I don't even think it's close. I think he had one of the best comebacks in boxing history.
Crazy.
If he bounces back and beat Usyk, if he beats Joseph Parker and then beats Usyk, Clay, that's a movie.
Undisputed? Yeah, bro. It's a legitimate movie. It's a legitimate movie.
It's a legit movie.
That's a fact.
Clay, we were saying his sister is better than him.
Yeah, Caroline.
Yeah. It got to a point where it was like, she carrying the name now.
Caroline's straight up nice, bro. She's one of them. She's nice. One of them.
She nice. But it got to the point where we was like, yo, she carrying the torch for them.
Right. He had no heart. He was like a big baby, literally. Yeah. Like he was like a big child, like just somebody who mentally just wasn't there.
Right. And think about this, right? Keep in mind, right, Clay? When he dropped Usyk, when he got dropped, it was like he quit. He didn't have no resistance. Like he
didn't get faded or he couldn't make the 10 pound. He gave up. You saw it in his face.
Yeah, he gave up. Like he was deflated that he didn't get the knockdown and knockout. Right. And it was like he just took a knee and was like, bro, I don't even want to do this no more.
Right. Get me up out of here, man.
Yeah. Now to bounce back and do this, and possibly I got to favor him against Joseph Parker. It's gonna be a mean fight though.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mean fight. I favor him a little bit against Usyk. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think the age and everything that Usyk brings to the table. I think it's time. I think it's Daniel Dubois' time, bro. I just think it's his time in the heavyweight division. That's what I believe. I think it's his time.
Do you think the Usyk might have just like after everything with the Fury fight, it might have took like out of him? Like he ain't got no more to prove.
Man, bro, listen, man, he had to overcome a lot to be able to compete at the level he did with Tyson Fury. Like he really did. Usyk had to really, yeah. This might be, you know, he's 38, man. He's 38, man. Does that hunger he have, is it still there? Daniel Dubois is pushing the limit. He's pushing the limit right now. He's not going to let you discourage him. Don Charles and his father has that boy wired. He's wired. That boy does not see. You're going to have to stop him. He's going to walk you down. He's going to hit you with shots. He has the athleticism, bro. He's not somebody you're going to take advantage of like Tyson Fury. Not to say Tyson Fury is like not one of those guys, but, you know, Daniel Dubois is athleticism in his power. He's what you want to see Jared Anderson do, Daniel Dubois. You want to see Jared Anderson kind of have that kind of energy. I think it's his time. If Usyk and him get in the ring, I see Usyk walking away with the win. I mean, not Usyk, Daniel Dubois walking ring with the win.
I want to see it. I want to see that fight.
Yeah, me too.
I want to see the rematch.
And do what you're supposed to do.
I don't think it's close, Clay. Like he's the fight of the year. I mean, comeback fight of the year. I think he's the fighter of the year. I just gave that away.
Woo! That was an argument. It was going to be between him and Usyk. We're going to talk about that later because Usyk is. But listen, man, when you talk about activity, yeah, we're going to talk about it later. It's different. You know, people on my channel, I actually, that decision was so hard for me that I just put up a poll, and I didn't even want to be the one responsible for making a decision because it was just so much of an argument. That was the only one I put a poll up on the channel, and I let the channel have it. Like whatever y'all pick, we going with that one because I don't want to be the one to pull the trigger on this one because Alexander Usyk, man, is a movie within himself, bro, as well. His journey, cruiserweight champion, country in war, beating Anthony Joshua twice, beating Daniel Dubois, beating Tyson Fury twice. I mean, he has a storybook, undefeated. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing going on with Alexander Usyk. But like you said, what we just talked about with Daniel Dubois for the past 15, 20 minutes, how can you discount that? How can you walk away from that? What else can that man do? That's got to be the question with Daniel Dubois is, what else can Daniel Dubois do to get Fighter of the Year? Out of everything he did this year, what didn't he do? What is he missing? What did he need to do to get it? Crazy, right? Like, what do you want him to do? He had one of those years where it's like, damn, bro, can he just not be Fighter of the Year? Like, there's nothing left to do. Fought 3 times this year. Stopped everybody he fought against. Knocked out Anthony Joshua in a way nobody's ever knocked him out. Dominated him. He's an IBF champion coming off of a year where we were talking about he had no heart at all. But Usyk is a movie too, man. But the thing that separates Usyk and Daniel Dubois potentially is 2024 who did more. And Daniel Dubois legitimately 2024 did more. Usyk is just a whole journey though, bro. It's a whole journey. And he beat Tyson Fury twice. But not in 2024. Yeah. He beat him once in 2024.
So that's I think it's hands down Daniel Dubois is comeback fight of the year.
100%. I agree with you.
100%.
I agree with you. And the chat leaning hard towards the board right now. I think we sold it to him, though. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think they felt like that before we just had this conversation. I don't think you people in the chat. I don't think y'all being real. I think you guys got sold a story.
We just sold it. We just sold it.
I don't think that's how they felt about it until we just talked about it. I don't think so, bro. But it's all good. You know what I mean?
That dude is an animal, man.
100%. 100%, man. All right. So do we want to move on to the next
yes, sir.
Year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, we got to talk about it's all about the youngins, Blue. It's all about the youngins, bro. It's the future of boxing,
They're
bro.
the future of the sport.
We talking about all these OGs and what they doing in the sport, but we can't leave the youngins out of it. The youngins had a great year, bro. And when we talk about the youngins, you guys, if you don't know, if you just woke up and you were sleeping on the rock, we talking about the damn prospects, bro. The prospects in boxing this year had a different kind of year as well. Now, I think there's one name that's clearly at the top of the list, but look, I'm gonna tell you right now, there is another name that we need to sit here and talk about, and we can't just let it go that easily. Now, clearly, Abdullah Mason is there. We know what Abdullah Mason did at their activity. The young bull fought 6 times this year, Blue. 6 times this year, stopped everybody he fought against. On his 6th fight, adversity. Sat on his pockets twice. Stood up, moved through the adversity, and stopped the opponent that was in front of him. We got to keep his name where it's supposed to be. But there's somebody else, Blue. There's somebody else that we're not talking about enough this year. We didn't talk about him a lot, but if you want to be honest with yourself, you would be wrong and out of pocket if you didn't bring up Moses Atuma, bro. And the year that Moses Atuma had, he fought 4 times this year, ended the year in great form. Every one of his opponents got knocked out as well. They're talking about they want to see this guy in there with Joseph Parker, bro. They want to see me there with the top echelon fighters right now. I don't agree with it. I think, whoa, slow down. This kid is 19 years old, bro. Let him develop. Let him develop, right? Too early, but this is what his performances have got him in a heavyweight division that's just coming together now. They want to see him in the conversation. And of course, we have Camaro Moten, you know what I'm saying, who's there as well, but Camaro Moten not making weight in his last fight, whatever the excuses are, if you want to consider legitimate or not legitimate, it don't look good to come in, 14 pounds, you know what I'm saying, over the weight coming in. Professionalism is suspect. But to me, it's up in the air between Abdullah Mason and Moses Atuma. I know some people might want to bring up Xander Zayas. Some people might want to bring up
Is Xander Zayas still a prospect though?
Exactly.
He's like a title contender now.
He was literally about to fight Virgil Ortiz for an interim WBC title, right? Yeah. But I'm going to bring a female in here. I want to bring a female in the conversation because we sometimes forget about the females. I want to know how we feel about Gabrielle Fundora this year becoming an undisputed champion. But she was a prospect before. She was a prospect. She's a young child. That's a young girl right there. She's a beast. And she was a prospect as far as I'm concerned. I don't know, man. But I think the 2 top people are Moses Atuma and Abdullah Mason. And I know, Abdullah Mason was more busier. He was a busier fighter. But Moses is in that heavyweight division shaking it up right now. He got the world on fire right now. You let me know. Where you at with it?
I gotta go with Mason.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm going with Mason, slight edge, and the reason I'm giving him the edge is because of the pressure to perform, right?
Right.
Moses, definitely, he's highly viewed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a sense where people are already putting Mason in a conversation with Shakur and Tank.
Even the Tank Davis and all of those guys, bro. Keyshawn Davis,
right?
They want to team in all those guys.
It's like, bro, the expectations, and for him to continue to perform with those expectations on him speaks values to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To be able to do that, and everybody is expecting you to fail, and then you have adversity, you get up off the canvas twice and still don't budge. You know what I'm saying? You still like, yo, all right, let me just go ahead, and still perform that way. Got to give it to Mason because of the pressure, because of the limelight. He's more in a limelight than Moses is. You know what I'm saying? Like at Madison Square Garden and you know what I'm saying? Like the demand for him is extremely, extremely high. You know what 100%. I mean? So because of that, I look at him and I say, that he's the prospect. I got to give it to him because
I agree. That's why I had to.
He's a prospect, Clay, but he got superstar pressure.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And I think eye test wise, he's just a way more talented fighter than Moses Atuma on the eyes. Like Moses is nice, but he's taking advantage of big, slow guys. He has fast hands. I'm not sleeping on him. I think he's really one of those guys, but Abdullah is in the more competitive division. The athleticism has to be there. The conditioning has to be there. The IQ has to be there. Like he showed you in his last fight, just putting his guard down for 1 second can have him sitting on his pockets in the division that he's in. I think Moses Atuma is taking advantage of his food a little bit. Some might argue that he's really a cruiserweight, refusing to cut the weight and choosing to fight at heavyweight.
Right. Salute to Muscle Up Kevin, the super chat, dropping that Cinco. In the super chat. He said, salute, Blue and Clay. Happy New Year's to both. Salute to your family. Happy New Year's, family.
Salute for sure.
Carlos Dixon, my brother in the super chat, dropping that half a dub. In the super chat. He said, "How about Haven Brady Jr.?"
I'm not really familiar with him like that, so I'm not going to.
Me neither. I've heard the name, but I haven't really watched him fight. So
yeah, I'll look him up though. You put his name on the radar, I'm going to find out about him next time.
I'll definitely pay attention to him.
Right.
You know, sure. But I'm not familiar with him. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. He's 14-0. Yeah, I know who Haven is. Out of Georgia.
I gotta see him fight.
Yeah. I know who Haven is. Yeah. I know exactly who he is. Yeah, I like him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, the name wasn't adding up, but yeah, he got a lot. He got a lot of talent for sure, Carlos. But I just think that Moses and Mason are just a couple of steps above him right now.
Yeah, man, they're definitely out there, man. Jonathan Lopez is nice, bro. I like Jonathan Lopez, exit to red. I like him, but he ain't a prospect of the year.
No, and the pressure that they have with those big names, that has to be accounted for. You know what I'm saying? Being a prospect and flying under the radar is different than being in everybody's all eyes on you like you're a superstar or like you're a world champion or a title contender, and you just a straight up prospect. That's different, man.
Yeah. So let's move the needle a little bit here. I
like Ben Whitaker too. I like Ben Whitaker too.
But Ben looked crazy in his last fight with that pulling him over. He was looking kind of regular, but I like Ben too.
Yeah.
But in his last fight, he was looking a little
pedestrian.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Let's say behind every great fighter, we're gonna segue because behind every great fighter, Blue, you know what I mean? They don't get the recognition they deserve like they should. But behind every great fighter, there's a great trainer, Blue. There's somebody back there who's training with these guys, the Bomacs, the Derek James, the Robert Garcias of the game, the Bozy Ennises of the game that don't get their flowers. Their fighters are always the one in the front. They get the belt. They in front of the microphones. They calling out the fighters, but we don't talk about the trainers enough. Trainer of the year. Trainer of the year, Blue. Now, I got some candidates in the conversation, but I think one of them stands out amongst the rest. It's really not as difficult as the other ones, in my opinion, but I'll put them out there on the table. Obviously, I'm going to put Bomac in there for the work he's done with Keyshawn Davis. I'm going to give Bomac his flowers, being that he also worked with Terrence Crawford and has done work on and off with other fighters in the game as well, right? He also has that other kid that he trains. Light-skinned homie, man. What's his name, man? He's a middleweight. He's a super middleweight, matter of fact, or maybe even a light heavyweight. What's his name? I don't know if the chat wants to let me know who it is.
I know you're talking about.
He's doing pretty well right now.
Yeah. Is it Cruz?
No, I don't remember, but I know he's like a nurse in real life. Like he got his nursing degree and everything like that. But I'd have to look him up. But Bomac is definitely in the conversation. Been doing the work with Keyshawn. Keyshawn in the conversation to fight Tank Davis. Once again, Bomac gets an opportunity to fight, one of his fighters to fight the best in the world. And has a great record, right? Ain't losing for real. And then obviously I would bring Bozy up just because of the work he's done with Andy Cruz. He's working with Stephen Fulton. He's working with obviously his son Boots. Even though I saw those guys kind of like show some holes in their game a little bit in their past couple of fights, but still, winning, and seems to have a tried true system at this point. But then, of course, Robert Garcia is in the conversation because Robert Garcia just had one of those years, man. With Bam Rodriguez, with Rayo Venezuela, with Virgil Ortiz. However you felt like that fight went with him in Barchuk, it don't matter. He's still in the biggest conversations. And he has other fighters as well. I think he has over 16 fighters in his stable. A real superstar year that he's had with his fighters. Who would you pick out of those three for trainer of the year? Eubank Jr. Yeah, with Bomac. Yeah. Fulgham, yes. Nick J. Fulgham, yes. Darius Fulgham is the one, Nick J. That's what I'm talking about with Bomac.
I think that I I think that it should be a draw. It should be half and half. It should be Robert and Bomac. Remember how they did the MVP? Who won it? It was the split MVP. You know what I'm saying? I think it should be one of those situations because Robert Garcia's is deep and Bomac's is deep. So I think Roberts is a little deeper at the highest level, right? With the bigger names. Where I think that Terrence Crawford and Keyshawn and Steve Nelson, I think this and Chris Eubanks in the rematch, right? The way they separated themselves,
right?
Where Robert Garcia had more close fights than Bomac did, right? But a win is a win. As a trainer, your fighter got the job done.
Listen, man, and I think what he did with Rayo Venezuela was amazing.
Spectacular. That was spectacular.
Where that kid came from last year, getting his revenge against Chris Colbert, getting that opportunity to fight against Usyk Cruz and
outclassing Isaac Cruz.
Outclass him in a way that I didn't know Rayo could do it that way.
Right.
Like Rayo he changed the Rayo. Rayo went from a puncher first boxer to a boxer who was moving around the ring and dominated that kid for 12 rounds and just exposed.
Right. You start to question, no disrespect, but you start to question Rayo's ring IQ.
Right. And discouraged Usyk Cruz to the point where Usyk didn't want the rematch. Activated the clause, and now he's fighting Fierro. Wouldn't fight him again, bro. He took it away from Usyk. He took it all away from Usyk, bro. And that you got to give Robert Garcia the props in that fight. I mean, literally, Rayo said, bro, like he couldn't believe, he didn't think, he questioned the game plan. Like he had to buy into Robert Garcia saying, no, Pedro, you have to feel me on this. Walk with me. This is the way we're going to win this fight. And took him into a victory and made him a champion. This kid was I don't want to say a nobody, but just to say, man, Edwin De Los Santos devastated him. Chris Colbert robbed him of a victory. They robbed him against Chris Colbert. In many ways, Rayo Venezuela's in comeback of the year conversations. We didn't involve him in that conversation, but in many ways, Rayo's in that conversation. And you got to give him the respect for what he did with that. With Bam, clearly Bam is a very talented fighter, but some people might say Bam is, kind of like, turnkey. A little bit what Bam brings to the table. And what he did with Virgil, once again, Virgil in his last fight, a very competitive fight against Serhii Bohachuk. The real test is going to be against what he can do against Madrimov. But Rayo was something that I think Robert Garcia can hold his head high about and be like, that's what I do. That's what I do with Rayo. Did Bomac have one of those moments with one of his fighters? I mean, he built Keyshawn from the ground up. Some might say that, right? He did a great job with Chris Eubanks with turnkey in a way. I don't know, man. Me personally, I'm leaning with Robert Garcia. I think Robert Garcia is trainer of the year. But Bomac had a great year, but I think Robert Garcia had the more impressive result with Rayo Venezuela. I think that Rayo Venezuela victory over Usyk Cruz pushes him over the top for me.
I can see that. But like I said, I personally think it should just straight up be a draw. It should be split, right? But I can see your argument, and I can see a case for Bomac, right? So
we'll go ahead and make it a draw. We'll make it a draw now.
Let's split it. Yeah, let's split it because
for sure.
I really can't.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's so difficult, man, because they did great things. You know what I'm saying? They both achieved great things with their fighters, and they both had great years with their fighters. So I think both of them should get a trophy on their mantle today.
No doubt. We'll see what you guys do next year for sure. Now let's have a fun conversation now, Blue. Because we done talked about the trainers, we done talk about the flops or the upsets. I won't call it the flops, the upsets. We talked, we haven't talked about the females yet, fight of the year for the females yet. We could talk about that as well. But I want to get into let's have some fun because I know the chat wants to get in this conversation. Let's talk about knockout of the year. Knockout of the year.
Let's do it.
Man, What a year of knockouts. Blue blood. What a year of knockouts. People going to straight sleep, family. And like I said earlier, body shots. Body shots. This year was a great year for body shots. But without a doubt, there's a knockout that stands out amongst all the knockouts. And there was a lot of knockouts. Now, I'm going to go down a couple of knockouts right here. All
right, let's do it. What's the candidates? All
right, number one that we're gonna go through. We're gonna put Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua as knockout of the year, just off of the
magnitude,
the effect, the magnitude, the way it shook the algorithm of who Daniel Dubois was after that knockout. That was a very significant knockout of the year. Right now, Lucas Body and Ashton H2O Silva, devastating. Sleep, snoring, sleep. Really good night. Tuck him in, see you in the morning. A good 8 hours, a solid 8 hours. That man woke up a brand new man after that knockout. You know what I'm saying? That kind of sleep that you can't even get after you take a melatonin pill. You know what I mean? Nothing was waking that boy up. And then there's Fabio Wardley and Frazier Clark. That was crazy with the egg form shape dent in the side of his head. Frazier Clark looking like a special ed student. Looking like he's on the spectrum, you know what I mean? He was completely gone on that corner, sitting there looking crazy. It was diabolical, right? I'm gonna go ahead and bring up some of you guys' favorite fighter in here, and I'm gonna give him his respect. I'm gonna give him his respect, man. No matter what you guys think, I'm gonna put Gervonta Tank Davis versus Frank Martin in the conversation. It was a clean knockout, great setup to the shot, beautiful uppercut, left uppercut, and followed up with a straight left hand, put that boy to sleep. Did not get up for the 10 count. I'm going to give him that knockout as well. Angela Leo versus Luis Vivado Lopez, which I think was an upset of the year candidate, but also a great knockout. Came out of nowhere. Angela Leo becoming a champion off of that one. I'm going to put Moses Atuma. I think there was a couple of fights on his record that I could have brought up, but I'm going to go ahead with his last fight that he had against Dempsey McKean. In his last fight, he sat him on his pocket, had that boy looking for his wallet. Boy was sitting on his pockets, looking around, couldn't find himself. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to find his wallet. Like, where's my wallet? Somebody that took my wallet. And the ref was like, hey, bro, I need you to get your ass up. You only got 10 seconds. He's like, but my wallet, ref. Hold up. He couldn't make it. I'm saying. Moses Atuma had to do him like that, bro. Moses like, I got your wallet right here, player. Get up, you only got 10 seconds. I got your wallet right here, player. You only got 10 seconds. Yeah, you only got 10 seconds, bro. We ain't got time for this. He's like, hold up on my wallet. What you got your wallet in this fight for, bro? Your wallet shouldn't be in the ring right now, bro. Ain't nobody looking for your wallet, bro. You should not be looking for your wallet, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it right there. And I'm gonna bring in a honorable mention. I do think that the Brian Norman Santillan fight was a great knockout of the strength that he beat the fire out that dude and did his little pose at the end when he got down and kind of looked at him on the ground. It was looking good for the camera, man. But those are the candidates. And listen, there's other ones. I mean, you guys want to do the Keyshawn KO Lemos? I don't know. In comparison to if you guys want to put him in the conversation, we could put him there. It was a great win. But was Lemos sleep? Was he really like, I don't know. It was a good knockout, though. Yeah. It was there. So who you got, man? Who you got?
My number one knockout of the year. Drum roll, please. Is Tank Davis over Frank Martin.
What? Okay, maybe. That's not mine, but go ahead.
And let me tell you why. Here's why. Strategically, he was setting that up from the first round, from the first bell.
Mm-hmm.
With his feet, he was putting Frank Martin in position where Frank Martin started to look back, look down, he started to question where he was at. He felt what Tank was doing, but he didn't adjust to what Tank was doing, right? And Tank kept cornering him, cutting the ring off just enough, right? Where he put Frank in a position where Frank didn't realize it. He feinted at him. And remember at one point in time, and this is what made it so so solidified for me that was the knockout. Because remember at one point in time, he fainted, and Frank Martin was like,
right, at the
and
presser.
He started laughing like, "I'm gonna get you." Remember, he like, "It's coming." You know what I'm saying? Like Frank Martin did one of those. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Tank was like, right, the mindset and the ring IQ and the foot placement to put you in position to do that. Like it wasn't a punch where he threw it wasn't reactive.
Right.
That's what makes it so fire to me. It wasn't reactive. You see what I'm saying? It was strategic from the very
100%.
first bell. I'm cutting you off, and
Right.
once I get to the position where I see the opening, got you, like a cobra. You know what I'm saying? They put you in position. They strategically before they strike, and then there's bang, right, and then before you know it, you bit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, where the doctor at? You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I seen him coming, but you didn't see him coming. You know
definitely what I'm didn't see him coming for sure.
Right. And the foot placement, the head movement, the feints, strategically to land, and then the cherry on top was watching him and Calvin practice the exact
in the back room,
in the locker room that knocked him out over.
Definitely strategy, cerebral, a very cerebral knockout. You saw it getting set up. I think by like round 3, I saw exactly what the play was. By round 3 for me, like, you know what I mean? I saw the play coming. But I can't lie to you, man. We're talking about.
But Clay, last thing for me. When he said, Calvin said to him, "That's the combination right there."
Right.
And Tank said, "I got you." In the locker room.
Yeah.
And to actually throw that combination and knock him out. That's beautiful. That's boxing.
Cerebral, bro. 100% cerebral. You know what I mean? And I see where you're coming from, but I can't lie to you. That's not my pick. Look, my pick was savage. It was life-changing. I wonder if this guy's gonna come back to boxing, who he's gonna be when he comes back. Man, Lucas Body took Ashton H2O Silva's consciousness away from him, bro. This man was laid out, booty in the air, legs crossed like Jesus Christ, arms to his side, nose in the canvas. This man was gone. If you watch that knockout again, he was breathing like he was trying to live, Blue. It looked like he was holding on to his life. Like he was gone, bro. That's a complete official. There was no 10 count. There was no count. There was get off him. Get off him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That knockout right there was intense. It was scary. It was a little bit, it was a scary feeling watching him wake up from that. And I know his family was destroyed. I know his mama was destroyed. His girlfriend, his kids, anybody who had any love for H2O was destroyed by that knockout. That kid may not be talking the same, may not be walking the same. We need to see what he looks like when he comes back into the ring. H2O got put to sleep in a way that I haven't seen somebody put to sleep in a very long time. It was scary. It was terrifying. So that's definitely who I got for knockout of the year.
It was dramatic, right?
It was scary.
It was dramatic for me, but it was reactive.
Right. It wasn't cerebral. It wasn't set up. It was just some might say a lucky punch. H2O was winning the whole entire fight up until that point.
Right.
I think Tank's fight was way more cerebral. It was a setup. You saw the chess being played from the moment it got done. But just off the strength of a knockout, knockout, crazy.
So my thing is this is how I look at it. Like, to put it in a basketball term, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go into an NBA game, you turn on the game tonight, right?
Right.
Somebody might drop 60 tonight. Unforeseen, right?
Right.
And it's like, wow, bro, dropped 60 tonight. But it's different when Michael Jordan say, "I'm about to give you 55 and give you 55.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so for Tank to say, "Here go the combination I'm putting you to sleep with," And Tank predicted the round. Remember,
He's dead. He sold him the 8th round. He said 8th round.
He predicted the round through the combination that he said was going to knock him out. Practice it on camera, so it wasn't even like they can't cap. You know what I'm saying? We seen them practicing it in the locker room, and then to strategically put you out of position, or dare I say, to put you in position to actually fulfill it and do it when I said I'm gonna do it and how I said I'm gonna do it, bro. That's unmatched to me.
I think just with the knockout game, there's a savagery to it that's just involved with the knockout. Like there's a cerebral part to it, and the victory was impressive, and it just showed the caliber that Tank was at. But there's a certain, like, you know, it's like the Japanese sword versus the Viking broadsword. You know what I'm saying? Or the English broadsword. Like one is like cuts with precision and it's just sharp, but the other one just chops through, like breaks bones and cuts through tendons, and it just has a crowd like, oh. And I think that H2O fight, that H2O knockout, just horrified. I just believe
it definitely adds dramatic. It was definitely dramatic.
It was horrific for the family of H2O. H2O's family was horrified. And you know what it reminded me of? When Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez.
Yes.
It was just like, Jesus.
Right.
Oh my God, is he okay? Will he be okay? Has he woke up yet?
Like Martinez knocking out Paul Williams.
Yes. Like what in the world? Paul just went, you know what I mean? Crazy.
Face down. Bang.
Sergio just did him dirty.
Hey, fun fact about that Paul Williams knockout. I asked him, because it was so brutal. I had to ask him, right? I said, Paul, man, you know, I hate to do it, but I just want to ask you. It was me, him, barbershop conversations. And he said, I said, man, I just got, what was your feeling? What happened at that moment? He said, yo, you want to know the truth? I said, yeah, what happened? He said, I remember the bell ringing. I remember throwing some punches. He said, then the next thing I know, I'm asking my corner, why they giving him my belt? Literally. Hey, Fred got it, because Fred was still recording on Barbershop Conversation. This is when he told me and Fred that, you know, he put to bed all that Floyd ducked him stuff, because he said me and Floyd we both agreed that the fight wasn't time to happen. And it just never came. He said, we both mutually agreed that we wouldn't fight each other. And then I moved up in weight, and it just never happened. But that's what he told me. He said, bro, I just looked at it on the other side and I asked my corner, why they giving him my belt? Bro, he didn't even know what happened. That's diabolical, Clay. That's unbelievable. Salute to Carlos Dixon and the brother in the super chat, dropping that Cinco. Going to send it to the chat. It's the female name, O'Shea Jones. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we know who she is.
No, O'Shea from Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she a beast, man. I want to see her do a lot of great things. I'm watching her. She fights on like OSX, right? OSK, whatever OSX.
Yeah,
OTX. You call it. OTX, yeah.
Hannibal, brother in the super chat, dropping that half a dub. He said, Happy New Year, Drew and Clay. Happy New Year to you too, great brother. Much love, family. Yeah, Denzel Horton, that's exactly what you go to. I think it's still on Fred. I don't know if that interview is on. We was in DC, I think. That's when Heard fought J-Rock. I think it was that it was around that time.
And also, I want to put in there that Bomac was on my list, but there was two more trainers that I didn't put on that list that I feel like should have been on that list. I don't think it should change who you have as trainer of the year, but I think Andy Lee, trainer Joseph Parker, and Don Charles, Daniel Dubois, trainer as well. Don Charles really brought. If we're gonna say Daniel Dubois is the biggest comeback of the year, he doesn't do that without Don Charles and his father in his corner. You know what I mean?
This is a fact.
He doesn't do that. So something that can take in consideration. I don't know if that changes anything, but I want to at least give those guys their flowers because they really showed improve. Andy Lee bringing Joseph Parker back bringing him to a victory against Deontay Wilder and a victory against Zhilei Zhang, and ultimately have him fighting for a title again, you know, resurrecting his career for all argument's sake. We know Andy Lee comes from that pedigree of Emmanuel Stewart. Was Emmanuel Stewart's probably like last real, you know what I mean, like apprentice of sorts, actually trained him to fight as well as be a trainer. And of course, Don Charles, like I said, if we're talking about the resurrection of Daniel Dubois, you can't say that without Don Charles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yes,
now let's go into females. You know, now I'm being real with you. The female boxing space is not really my space, but I do keep, you know, I'm good with the top females, but there's so, you know, I'm not really that, you know, I mean, well versed with them like that. So I understand Katie Taylor and I understand Amanda Serrano, obviously. Gabrielle Fundora, to me, you know what I'm saying, just what an impressive year. You know, obviously, what's my girl's name?
Alicia Baumgartner.
Alicia Baumgartner, she got work to do, you know what I'm saying? She had a you know, with the PEDs and everything like that, but I was gonna say Sky Nicholson. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Sky had a real great year. I mean, ultimately, I mean, I would ask who you give it to. You know what I'm saying? Who you want to give it to. I have my pick already. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think this girl just showed improved this year. I think it's Gabrielle Fundora. You know what I'm saying? I think Gabrielle Fundora had just one of those years, but I don't know who you might want to go with the females. You just got to show the females love, or they're gonna say we sexist up here, bro. So
no, I'm with you. I say Fundora as well.
Gabrielle, right?
Yeah, and I think to a degree, Carissa Shields suffers from successful fatigue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost expected. It's like, again, like Michael Jordan could win MVP every year. You know what I'm saying, that he plays. But it's just you know, Gabrielle, she showed up and showed out. What Carissa did going up to heavyweight, that was beautiful. Right.
It's beautiful. Just Clarissa hasn't been blessed with competition. She hasn't had that real, you know, she can't stay active as she wants to be. And it's like you said, when she wins, she's supposed to win. So it just takes away from her a little bit.
Success fatigue, you know what I mean? Band up, what up, nephew? So it's like it's not even like she don't have the competition. She just seems to be so head and shoulders above everybody that it's not competitive. You know what I mean?
She doesn't have the adversity. She doesn't have the op. She doesn't have the big fight. She doesn't have, you know what I mean? It's not her fault. It's what can she do? She competes where she can compete at, but at the end of the day, she just doesn't have the Katie Taylor like Amanda Serrano does. She doesn't have the champ, you know, Scott. She doesn't have those fights there for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Torso, Denzel Horton, head, shoulders, knees and toes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Period.
It's just like she gotta do, in order for Carissa to have anything, she has to squeeze down to like 47 to fight. And even when she wins those fights, let's say she fought at 147 against Katie or Serrano.
Right.
She wins, people gonna be like, bro, they was, you know what I'm saying? It's
too small.
Yeah, it's just nothing she could do but just, you know, just stay active. But I like what Gabby did this year, so I'm with you.
Yeah, I gotta give Gabrielle Fundora her props and her respect.
Yeah, the women's fight of the year, I think, again, is Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano.
100%. No, Michaela and Sandy Ryan had a pretty damn good fight too.
Yeah,
that was a good fight.
Sure did.
That was a good fight, especially with the story. There was a lot of drama there too, with the whole drive-by painting and everything.
Yeah, that was wild.
You know what I mean? That became what it was.
I'm going with Gabby too.
Okay. Now, as far as promoter of the year, do you got a promoter that you're going with, or are we just gonna? I ain't gonna lie. I'm giving promoter of the year. Everybody's gonna say he's not a promoter, but bro, he's the facilitator. He is the architect. He is the watcher. It's Turkey. I don't care if y'all say he's not a promoter. I don't care.
Yeah, it's not even close,
bro. What he did this year, he's the man of the year. He's the man of the year. Fight of the year. We already said Enzo fight of the year. I think, who did we get fight of the year to? Was it Surrey?
Fight of the year?
I don't think we did fight of the year. Did we?
I thought we did.
No, we did knockout of the year. We didn't do fight of the year. No, we ain't do fight of the year. Did we?
No, we did comeback fighter. We did prospect. We didn't
do fight of the year.
Knockout.
Oh,
fighter of the year. Oh, fighter of the year. No, we didn't.
Fight of the year. Fight of the year.
We did fight of the year.
We did. Who was it?
We agreed it was the Ortiz and Sorry Boachuk fight.
Did we? No, we talked about it a little earlier, real quick, but we didn't talk about it because I don't know.
We went into that. We did that.
So we talked about Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu, Angela Leo. We talked about Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua, Keyshawn Davis, and Miguel. We ain't do it, bro. Yo, guys, did we do that? I'm telling you, we didn't do it. In the beginning, we just talked about it and said we had to have that conversation. I brought up a couple of fights, but we didn't.
We did. Because remember, I said, we did. Because remember, I said I just gave my fighter of the year away.
Yeah, that's what you said, but we weren't talking about. You said I just gave it away.
Yeah, we did fight of the year, and I said I just gave away my fighter of the year as well.
You want to give Sergey Boachuk and Virgil Ortiz?
We said it was Sergey Boachuk, Virgil Ortiz.
No, see, Denzel said, "Nah, y'all ain't do it." No, we didn't do it, man. We touched it, but we didn't do it, bro.
No,
we didn't. We said comeback fight of the year. We did comeback fight of the year, fighter of the year. We did knockout of the year. We didn't do fighter of the year. I mean, clearly you think Sergey Boachuk and Virgil Ortiz is fight of the year.
Gave that away.
You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't know, man. I thought Keyshawn Davis and Miguel Madueno had a great fight this year. I thought obviously, you know what I mean, Brian Norman and Santilli had a fight. Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua is in the conversation. Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, the first one. No, that didn't happen this year, so it would have to be this. No, it happened this year. Alexander Usyk, the first one happened this year, right? 2024?
It was no. Was it?
I think it was. Wasn't it?
That's a good point.
Hold on, let me pull it up right quick.
May. Mm-hmm.
It happened this year, right?
Yeah, May.
Oh shit! So I mean, that kind of gives Alexander Usyk a little bit more of a conversation about fighter of the year in that conversation because he did. I didn't think that happened this year. Anyway, and we have that first one, which was a great fight. Sebastian Fundora versus Tim Tszyu was a great fight, man.
Bam Rodriguez and Estrada.
And Bam Rodriguez and Estrada is another fight that's on the list for sure. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm still with the Sergey Boachuk and Virgil Ortiz fight.
Me too.
I'm still with that fight. I'm not gonna lie, but I think some people would argue that the Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk fight was definitely a big fight.
I'm gonna surprise you. Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Wait, that was this year, right?
Yeah, that was this year. That was in April.
Yeah, it's a lot of asterisks by it, but that was an exciting fight, bro.
It was exciting. Everything about that fight was exciting as far as going into it.
The fight itself, though, was action packed.
It was action packed.
It's an asterisk by it.
It just is, man. But I agree with you. It's there. It's there. It's definitely the event of the year.
I forgot Mario Forster. Yeah, Barrios and Ramos.
And Abel? Yeah, that was a crazy fight as well. That was fight of the year candidate as well.
That's my favorite fight right there.
More than the Sergey Boachuk Virgil Ortiz fight?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that fight ended in a draw. That did end in a draw, but Virgil got sat in his pocket twice. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Barrios Ramos was a good fight, though.
Bro, it just started.
What? It started raining? Storming? Yeah.
I thought it was a truck going down the street.
I ain't gonna lie. I got Ortiz and Boachuk too, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I got Ortiz and Boachuk still.
I like that Ramos and Barrios fight, though, bro.
That was a good fight. That was a
damn good fight right there, man.
But I feel like Sergey Boachuk and Virgil Ortiz made themselves, both of them, stars in 154 in a division that's a hornet nest. They both walked away You know, obviously Virgil Ortiz walked away with the victory, but there was a moral victory in it for Serhii Bohachuk, and you know, he backed it up against Ishmael Davis. Those guys moved on to do great things. Mario Barrios and Abel Ramos was kind of a fight that shouldn't have been as competitive as it was in some ways. Mario Barrios is the welterweight champion, WBC welterweight champion of the world, talking about unifications, and you know, Abel Ramos, somebody who, you know, he's not that guy per se, but made that fight. Like, Mario dropped the ball in many ways in that fight and showed that he's really going to be food for some of the other champions in that division. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm still going to go with Serhii.
It was an action-packed fight and a higher profile fight.
Yeah.
That's what separates it. So I can see what you're saying.
I'm going to lean with Serhii on that one. With Serhii
I think I'll change it. I think I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, that was a great fight, though, man. That was a great fight.
It was more at stake, right? It was
definitely.
Yeah,
everything was on the line.
Yeah.
In a division like 154, that Hornets Nest, that was a big deal fight.
Yeah,
and both of them walked away. The performance was so good, both of them walked away and didn't really lose any value from that fight. They both walked away like, damn, they're still going to be. Bohachuk is still a problem if you didn't know who he was, and Virgil Ortiz showed that he had that will and that grit. You know what I'm saying? To sit and bang out with the best. Pause.
Yeah, I'm with you. Salute to the great brother Carlos Dixon in Super Chat, dropping that Cinco. I love to see Turkey on your show. LOL. I believe that will be very unique. Man, I would love to have Turkey on here. I would love
crazy.
To have Turkey on here.
That would be interesting to say the least.
Man.
Turkey tapping with this energy, he gonna get the real pulse of this boxing space, and we gonna get the fights that everybody been. We know the fights that need to happen, bro. Like the reality fights, not the BS, the real fights that need to be made, bro. No hate.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
We got on the table.
All right. So I mean, I think it comes right down to it. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. You got the poll up there. That poll is crazy, bro. The poll is crazy. It was going one way. I thought we sold it, but the poll is saying something different. I don't know if we agree with the poll or not at this point. You know what I'm saying? But according to the poll, I don't know. If you want to let it be known what the poll is saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's 52% to Usyk and 28% to Daniel Dubois. It changed quick, didn't it?
Listen, I told you the same thing happened on my channel, bro. And everybody, you know what's so funny? People in the channel were like, man, Daniel Dubois. I'm like, yo, y'all voted on this, bro. This ain't me. This is what y'all saying, bro. Like, it is what it is. Y'all got to own up what y'all did. There's a lot of, you know how they got people in there voting for Trump but talking crap about him? But when they got up in there, they voted for Trump. There's a lot of Usyk supporters in here who front like they Daniel Dubois supporters. Look, man, 120 people, man, voted, bro.
Yeah. That's
big. It is what it is. Listen, man. And I understand. I understand where they're going with it, bro. I get it. I get it, man. And listen, even going back and seeing that Usyk fought Tyson Fury twice this year and beat him twice, man, you got to acknowledge his journey, man. You know what I mean? You gotta acknowledge his journey, bro, for him to get here undefeated, undisputed, 2 weight classes. Heavyweight division runs the world, man. Heavyweight division, where the heavyweight division goes, so does boxing.
Heavyweight division goes, so goes the sport of boxing.
It is what it is. Alexander Usyk, man. Are you ready to agree with that, or you think they just got it wrong? You just think Daniel Dubois is that guy, man? Are you gonna let the cat have it?
I'm still going Daniel Dubois.
It's just Daniel, right?
Yeah, it's Daniel.
Great year boxing.
Because of Usyk, great fighter, high expectations, massive fight, undisputed fight, sure. But from where Daniel Dubois came from to do what he did this year and build himself back up, no, that's different, man.
Yeah. I like Daniel Dubois too, man. But I'm gonna go with the Chad. I'm gonna go with Alexander Usyk, man. I'm gonna go with the legacy. I'm gonna go with the fact that he beat Daniel Dubois. You know what I mean? That's gonna be the tiebreaker. He beat Daniel Dubois. So Dubois, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give it to Usyk, man. I think he just accomplished more. I think he just. By the way, this whole argument about him being all AGT, man. How you feel about that with Alexander Usyk? Is it fair to put him in that conversation? I mean, and what else would he need to do to be in that conversation?
I think he's definitely all-time great.
Right.
Where is he ranked? Somebody asked me, is he top 5? No.
Right. Me neither. I don't have him top 5.
No. Is he even top 10?
Especially in the
Probably not.
heavyweight division. Especially in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
But just
probably
in boxing in general, he accomplished a lot.
Yeah. You know, he not even top 10 probably. You know what I'm saying? If I really sit and think about it.
Yeah.
But is he an all-time great heavyweight? Yeah. I mean, he's for his era. He can only fight the people in his era.
Right. That's all he can do.
That's the only thing he could do. The best in his era, he beat him.
Right. Yep.
Not once, but twice.
Right.
Now, Exit Red said weak cruiser and heavy division. The cruiserweight, he became undisputed. I could say the division was weak. But heavyweight, bro.
He fought the so-called killers. He fought Anthony twice.
The only fighter he didn't fight is
Daniel Dubois. Who?
Wilder's the only fighter.
Right. And Wilder kind of like got exposed a little bit with the whole entire, you know, just in his past couple of fights, you know what I mean? Just didn't need to fight Wilder.
Yeah. So that's the only fight to be had. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So for his era, what could he do?
Anybody who was there, that's like people trying to hold Terrence Crawford's resume against him. You know what I mean? Like,
you can't.
He fought who he's supposed to fight, bro. He was undisputed. He beat all the champions, bro, in the division he was in. Like, there's nothing left for him to do.
And Usyk ain't ducking and dodging nobody. He fight everybody.
Said he'll even fight Daniel again.
Is there some fights that he could make and just keep padding the stats? Yeah. I'd like to see him fight Joseph Parker. I'd like to see him fight Dan DeBo's rematch. But they're gonna fight each other. Like it's over. Like he's the best of this era. And if he's the best of this era, he's got to be an all-time great. Is he considered top 10 where you rank him? Some people getting a little carried away with that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's opinionated, right? And it's out of sight, out of mind. I seen a post that somebody said he could beat Muhammad Ali. Is he better than Holyfield? No.
Right.
Is he better than Lennox Lewis? No.
Right.
Is he better than Riddick Bowe? No.
No. Larry Holmes?
Is he better than Larry Holmes? No. Is he better than George Foreman? No.
Nope.
Is he better than Joe Frazier? No.
Nope.
He definitely ain't better than Muhammad Ali.
Nah, yeah, man. When you're talking about the heavyweight division, he's not even in that conference. He's not top.
Is he better than Sonny Liston?
Nope.
Nope. Is he better than Joe Louis?
I don't think so.
I don't think. Yeah, so it's like, it depends where you rank him. See, here's the thing, right, Clay? You can be an all-time great, but don't have to be in the top 20. We just rattled off about 15 people, right?
Easily.
So you could rate, let's say, hypothetically speaking, we say George Foreman is 15.
Where does that put Usyk?
But he's still all-time great.
Right. Usyk's probably like 30, 40, 35, 30. Like,
he's down the list, but okay. This is what I say. If you put him based off of the eye test and what we've seen, if you put him in the ring with all those fighters, he could hold his own. He could be competitive, and he could possibly get some wins.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he'll be favored to lose, but he could get some. Malaya, peace of blessings, Queen. Cali World, peace of blessings, Queen. Right, but is there a chance he could get some wins with his skill set? Yeah. Right. For instance, I think he might get a victory over Holyfield if they fought 3 times. He might be able to edge one out over Holyfield. You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna edge it out over Mike? Styles make fights too, Clay.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna edge it out over Mike Tyson? Probably not, because of the styles. You know what I'm saying? But could he get a victory over Spinks? Yeah. Could he get a victory over Holyfield if they fought 3 times? Probably so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is he better than the Klitschko's? He could probably get a victory over one of them. You know what I'm saying? He's better than Hussein Rahman. He's better than Oliver McCall. They both beat Lennox Lewis.
Right.
So why can't he get a victory over one of them?
He could do it.
He could do it for sure. So I think he could get a victory over one of those guys. Does that mean he's better than them? No. But does that mean he could compete in their era, in their class? Is he outclassed? No.
Right.
For instance, let me give you another example, right, Clay?
Mm.
Roberto Duran is 1-4 against the Four Kings, but he's still one of the Four Kings.
100%.
But he lost in every which way possible. He got outclassed by Wilfred Benitez. He got knocked out by Tommy Hearns brutally. He got outboxed by Marvin Hagler, who we all felt like Marvin Hagler just didn't step on the gas, like he took it easy. And he quit against Sugar Ray Leonard in the rematch.
Yeah.
He got one victory, the first fight against Sugar Ray Leonard.
That's it.
That's it. But is he not an all-time great? Because when you think of Roberto Duran, yes, some people argue he's the greatest lightweight ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how many great lightweights did he beat? That was all-time greats. Because what we're doing is we subtracting to put it into perspective what I'm trying to say, Clay. Is the lightweights he beat more better than the heavyweights that Usyk beat?
No.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if Usyk beat Daniel Dubois, Joshua twice, Tyson Fury twice, who else he beat?
You beat Derek Chisora.
Derek Chisora, right? But just those three guys.
Mm.
If in Roberto Duran's era at lightweight, what three guys carried that type of weight at lightweight that he beat? You understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
Like for instance, when Pacquiao was dominating, what was the featherweight division, whatever?
Mm.
You had Marquez, Morales, Barrera, right? Prince Nassim Hamed. Prince Nassim Hamed lost to Barrera and got up out of there, right?
Right.
Okay. Pacquiao beat all three of them. But it's only three guys that we focus on. You see what I'm saying?
I agree. It's
three guys we focus on. So in Duran's era, if somebody could tell me three lightweights in Duran era, because we say Duran is the greatest lightweight ever. See what I'm saying? Paying attention is free. It's the most expensive free thing in the world. I never said I was putting him over Duran,
Right.
Pay attention. I said in Duran is considered the greatest lightweight ever. So I'm asking you, what three lightweights did he beat to be considered the greatest lightweight ever? That you can't say Usyk is an all-time great for beating Fury, Joshua, and Daniel Dubois.
Right.
So if you give me three lightweights, what dominating lightweight? Because his most notable fights is when he went up to welterweight and fought Tommy Hearns, that moved up to 60, and then and Sugar Ray Leonard. Right. That's where his name. When you think about Roberto Duran, you don't think about the fighters he fought at lightweight. You think about the fighters he fought at welterweight. That's the first thing that comes to your mind.
Right.
It's Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, and Marvin Hagler, and Wilfred Benitez. And he lost in every which way possible to those guys. I'm not saying he's considered great. I'm not saying he's better than Duran. I said Duran is some people say Duran is the greatest lightweight ever. And I'm saying the level of competition at lightweight, when he's considered the greatest lightweight ever, Who are they? Because the fights that we talk about with Duran is him being one of the 4 kings, and then him beating Iran Barkley at middleweight.
100%.
But he's considered one of the, if not the greatest lightweight ever. For beating who though? What all-time greats did he beat at lightweight? That's what I'm saying. So if we can say Duran's the greatest lightweight ever,
Right.
why can't we say Usyk is one of the all-time greats? Not saying he's the greatest or not top 10 or whatever. We're just saying he's an all-time great.
Word. I agree.
You see what I'm saying, Clay?
I agree. I think Usyk's a legitimate all-time great. He's an ATD.
Texas 16 South said Duran excelled after that KO. No, Duran lost in every which way possible. You didn't hear what I said, Texas 16 South? He got outclassed by Wilfred Benitez. He got brutally knocked out by Tommy Hearns. He quit against Sugar Ray Leonard, and he lost to Marvin Hagler, who many people felt like took it easy on him for no reason. Clay, what other way could you lose? You get brutally knocked out, you lose a decision, you get outclassed, and you quit. What other way could you lose?
Yeah, but he still gets recognition.
Right.
Yeah.
The weight that he holds is the win over Sugar Ray Leonard, the first fight, and the Iran Barkley fight. Those are the 2 fights that you talk about as his victories. Then, yeah, he was knocking people out at lightweight, for sure. Who was he knocking out, though? Not saying he wasn't knocking out good fighters. Right. But who is the all-time great lightweights that he beat? Because the truth of the matter is, Fury's going to the Hall of Fame, Joshua's going to the Hall of Fame, and the trajectory that Daniel DeBoss is on, if
he's gonna end up there too, if he becomes undisputed or unified. Yeah.
And then he won at cruiserweight. That's all I'm saying. So if we can, then why can't we say that Usyk is an all-time great?
I agree.
So Carlos Dixon, my brother in the super chat, dropping that Cinco. I see the cruiserweight champion is calling out Deontay Wilder. Who's the cruiserweight champion? Who?
Talking about Jai Obata? Are you talking about Gordo?
So I know they focus on each other.
That's what I'm saying. Like, which one of those guys are gonna want to leave their situation and go fight Deontay?
Yeah.
Who paying for that?
Yeah, no. But man, that's all we got for y'all, man. We appreciate y'all coming through. New Year's Eve.
Yo, y'all enjoy y'all New Year's. I'm chilling, man. We got it. You gonna still hit me later to politic about what we talked about, so we can find out about that. Y'all see my link in there. Let's get it up, man. Let's get the channel up, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Got some cool stuff coming in the New Year's, bro, with this channel as well. I think me and Blue working on some things in the background. So, shout out to everybody. Thank you for the support this year. What a great year it's been. For me personally, it's been a great year. Even getting on this show this year, becoming a co-host on this show was a great accomplishment for me this year. And looking to do even greater things next year as I cement myself in the boxing space, man. I appreciate you, Blue, man, for offering me the olive branch to come over here and build on this boxing. Big learning experience for me. I appreciate it. You guys be blessed. Bless your families, man. Hold your kids. Tell them you love them. You know what I'm saying? Go into the New Year's with a clean heart, man. Let all the BS go, man. Don't carry none of that 224 stank on that you got on you into 225, man. Let's clean it up and be better next year. You know what I mean? For sure.
Y'all know I only got one thing to say. Let's be great.
That's it, man.
Let's be great. 2025. Let's be great. And I appreciate you coming here. And being here, man, it's a blessing to me, brother. I enjoy it. I appreciate everybody in the chat, man. Let's be safe tonight. Get home safe. If you're home already, stay home. If you're out, get home safe, man. Stay focused, man. You know, keep your head on the swivel. You know what I mean?
God is good, man.
I almost got smacked today coming out the gym.
Damn.
Yeah, literally. Like, there's people on the sidewalk started screaming. Literally, man. So, you know, that got the lady to wake up, man. You
She
know what I
just
mean?
like not paying attention.
Bro, I came to a complete stop. I'm like, bro, you really getting ready to do this? You know what I'm saying? And at my driver door. So, yeah, man, let's be safe, man. Let's get home healthy, man. Let's enjoy 2025, man. You know what I mean?
No doubt,
Let's
no
enjoy
doubt.
2025 and make it. The goal would be make it to 2026. That's the goal.
That's it, man. And then do it again.
And do it again, man. And rinse and repeat.
That's it, baby.
Repeat. So appreciate y'all coming through, starting up, holding us down, showing us love. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy. Oh, before I say that, my brother Claymore Rain, the link is right there, pinned up in the chat. I pinned it up in the chat. So click the link, subscribe to his channel. Make sure you're subscribed to my brother Claymore Rain channel. The link is pinned up in the chat. Click the link and follow the steps and subscribe to his channel. And you coming on in the mornings, right, Clay?
No, tomorrow I'm hanging out with the daughter.
Okay.
So in the morning? What do you mean in the morning? Oh no, live. No, I ain't going in the morning. Yeah, I ain't gonna be here.
Okay. So but man, click that link and subscribe to his channel, man. We appreciate y'all coming through, starting up, holding us down. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all in one word. It's all we got for y'all. We gone. Peace.